Check the mic and make sure it sound right, boys.
All right, dude. I think we're good.
Fuck yeah.
I think we're fucking set. This is the first Come Up episode. Long distance.
Yeah.
Zoom style.
In the room, in the bedroom.
In the bedroom. I'm in my kitchen.
That's good.
It's got a good blank wall. And
yeah, it's not bad.
Lighting's not bad. I actually just bought one of these fucking vlogger, TikToker lights, whatever you want to call them, ring lights.
One of the circle one.
Yeah, I needed them for an audition, well, the one I actually called you for, because I wasn't able to get someone to read with me. That's the one, by the way, that I'm waiting to hear back. I don't think I'm getting it because I haven't heard anything by now, but I needed someone. It was pretty legit. Like, it was like an actual movie. So I wanted it to be, because in the past, I'm all over the place right now. It's better to have a reader, like someone in person to actually read for you, than probably over the phone. Or I've even done like voice memos where I'll read off the other lines and then I'll do mine.
Right.
But then you have very little room. The timing's always weird. It's hard.
Yeah.
It's like a whole nother thing.
Sure.
Yeah. Try to get the timing down, and then you're like planning out your audition more than you should be. So it's just weird like that usually. But since this was like a pretty substantial role, I really wanted somebody. So I waited till the evening, but the sunlight is what I use for lights because we got big windows here. So I've never been able to do it during the evening. So long story long already, I got a ring. I got a ring light. I've just been babbling on here. Swear to God.
No, you're good. I was thinking about getting a fucking ring light too, because my nice mug.
Yeah, bro. Shout out Danny Bruckbauer Ceramics a couple times now.
I should get myself something to drink out of.
Get your mug.
I'll go grab one in a second here. But I was I was gonna get one of those ring lights, or I'd thought about it too, because my basement has the worst like yellow shit lighting ever. It's like an unfinished old fucking basement.
Perfect.
And so I've been thinking about getting one of those ring lights, because I make a lot of pottery TikTok videos and shit.
Yeah.
And the lighting is always so garbage. Like, I wish you could actually see what I was working on. I've had a bit of a sore throat the past, like 2 weeks. I got COVID test and it was fine, but I've been coughing quite a bit, so I've just been fucking slugging hot tea.
COVID round 2?
I don't have COVID. I got checked for it and I don't have it. No. But I did have it. Yeah. Have you had it?
Everyone's had it,
Yeah. I had it like back in like 2019. I think I had this weird cold thing. I think I'm sure I had it.
When I was 8, went to Asia once, and I think I got it.
No, dude, my cousin was actually the first one to get it. So,
yeah, is he around still?
Yeah, of course. He kicked it in like a 30 seconds or something.
Just took an ibuprofen. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
What is everyone complaining about? Yeah, no. Real talk though, I think I might have had it in March of like when everything literally like the week shit shut down out here.
Fucking have it.
If I didn't have it then I don't think I have.
I don't think you had it. Did you lose taste and smell?
I didn't lose taste and smell, but I was definitely like I've had sinus infections before. And that's kind of what had happened to me for like a week, and it kind of progressed.
We talked about this.
Yeah, into like one day, and I'm a pretty I don't like just sitting around. I like to be working on shit or literally working out or doing something. And
sure,
the day like it peaked, I was just so exhausted. I didn't do anything, and so it was very unusual for myself. And after that day, then it like progressed to get better. So I don't know. I remember my eyes, like, this sounds so weird to explain, but my eyes, I felt like what I was seeing, I couldn't just like comprehend in my head as well. I remember thinking that because I took a walk around the neighborhood that I was living in at the time, and just like my vision felt a little foggy, and like just like your interpretation of literally what you're looking at felt like slow to me. I was like, this is weird. Yeah, but went away. So if that was that, then maybe I had it. If that wasn't it, then I don't think I've had it. I haven't had anything since that was like that.
Huh. Yeah, I don't know. Mine was it's so weird how it affects everybody so much differently. What the fuck? My screen just went dark. Um, it's weird how it affects everybody so differently.
Yeah.
Like I had literally I had a headache for a day and I was tired for a couple weeks. I did lose taste and smell though.
Did you? How was
Yeah.
that?
Shitty. It would really like didn't affect me all that much. So like the whole COVID, like I got it really easy. Like even the taste and smell, I lost it completely for like maybe 3 days, and then it came back slowly for like another 3 days, 4 days, and then it was pretty much all back. Like I think I was probably at 90% afterwards for like a month or two or whatever, 3 months or something. It was just like every once in a while I'd wake up in the morning and I couldn't taste or like something was weird. Like my dad lost it completely for like 2 months.
Fuck.
So I was pretty fortunate with, I don't know,
That's so
just being
crazy.
healthy. Hmm.
Like what a thing. Like obviously some people they died, and some people
Well, yeah,
can't taste.
my dad was in the fucking hospital with it. Like he spent the night in the hospital. He went and they tested some, I don't know what the scientific terms are, but basically like the levels that usually go high when you have a heart attack, they usually indicate a heart attack.
Hmm.
He had that shit. So like they thought that he had maybe a heart attack. And so they're like, we used to spend the night in the hospital, and they just did a bunch of tests on him and shit. He went home the next day, but it was kind of a scary day or two there for like the family, you know?
Yeah. See, that's another thing. Like exactly like you're saying. I've heard symptoms of heart attack. People have had it, and that's what they've experienced. I've heard symptoms of people kind of like what I said. They thought it was like they felt like it was a sinus infection, and then they were positive. Uh,
Yeah.
all of it. It is weird how different it can be. And I wonder if maybe sounds really stupid, but I'm no biology person. But I wonder if every strain, I wonder if like those are all different strains because they talk about that, like oh,
Yeah.
the variant from wherever part of the world is stronger or weaker, and
Right.
each strain has like those different effects. That kind of makes sense, but
For sure.
I have no fucking idea.
I don't either.
But you survived, so cheers to that.
I'm still kicking. Hey,
Cheers to
yeah.
that with the Danny Bruckbauer ceramic cups.
Cheers.
Ooh, I like that one.
Thanks. Yeah, I had some more like the same one as yours, but I figured I'd get a different little one. It's a little
Yeah,
bit different.
yeah. It looks honestly when I first saw it, it looks like I mean, it doesn't close up, but my first thought was it looks like Kiss, like lipstick
Ah,
imprints a little bit. Some of them, obviously, the
yeah.
screen. So
I get real sensual with my pottery. I like to give him some smooches.
just a while ago, Danny's making out with some mugs.
uh,
Just love
yeah, I've been calling them cowhide mugs.
cowhide mugs.
Yeah, because they kind of remind me of a cow. I don't know. I made these the same time I made that one that you have.
Yeah,
There, so I haven't really been working on. I made like one batch of them.
man, I love the shape of these. You
Yeah,
hold like
thanks.
this, and then even just drinking it, like we've gotten some other mugs through Spot at the store that are supposed to look kind of like handmade ceramics, honestly, to match these
Right.
ones. And like when
Yeah.
you drink them or use them to drink, whatever it is, the shape of the lip it always like drips. You know what I'm saying?
Is it thick lip?
Got a thick lip, bro.
Like you got a thick lip, bruh?
But it might be. I don't know. Like it's just this one, fits your lips well.
Yeah. I mean, that's all like thought through. So I feel like, like you go to like a diner,
Yeah.
like a coffee shop or whatever, they've got like those standard shitty mugs that
Yep.
is like it's just a square shape, whatever, with
Exactly.
like that handle that's like this.
Yep.
The handle's always really uncomfortable and it doesn't really fit right. And it's weird. And it's like the handle's way too thin for how heavy the mug is.
Mm-hmm.
And then the rim on the mug is always so fucking thick that when you drink it always like dribbles down the side of the cup. So
Yeah.
these are like yeah, a thinner, but there's enough thickness to them where they're not gonna like stab your lips.
Yeah. That's exactly what I'm talking about. So
Yeah.
good
Yeah,
fucking.
I get Thank you. Yeah, I mean, I get fucking frustrated going to like a breakfast joint and
Yeah.
getting a cup of coffee. I'm like, this just hurts my hands. I don't want to hold this.
Well, that's a great point because anything you do and create yourself, yeah, when you go out and if it's something that you encounter on your day-to-day life, yeah, you're comparing. And if it's a shitty version of that, it's just like, dude, I know it's so,
Right.
I know this
It's
sucks.
yeah, yeah. This is dog shit. I don't want to drink out of this. So I just
Yeah,
bring my own.
yeah, exactly. Because I remember
Yeah.
after I did house renovations for a little bit after like freshman, sophomore year of college, or in between the summer, freshman, sophomore year of college, and then sophomore,
Hmm.
junior year. And I was painting a lot. And after that, anywhere I walked in for a long time, I'd look at their paint line.
Yeah.
These guys fucking suck.
Who-
They don't
They're
give a
not
shit. They're
they're not
painting all
tape
over.
at all.
Yeah, exactly. They're painting all over the trim, all over the fucking like switches. Like, I know these guys didn't give a shit.
Uh,
Just
I've been I've been putting up Christmas lights. That's been my job for the past like 6, 8 months or whatever it is.
putting up Christmas lights.
Well, I've been taking them down now. I just got done on like 2 days ago. Like Wednesday was my last day.
Yeah,
Uh,
that's such a North Dakota
that's a
job, bro.
dude. That is such a hilarious thing to like be well versed about.
Yeah,
Christmas lights. You're like, with anybody in the car driving through town, and I'm always like looking at the trees downtown Fargo. I'm driving through town. There's just like lights on all the trees. I'm like, God, that would fucking suck to put all those lights up. And people are like, what are you talking about? I'm like, that shit sucks so bad. I do that every day, but just like, it's so funny to be the whatever you do, you have more knowledge than
yeah,
anybody else really. Like
yeah.
if that's your job, you know more about it than most people. And it's just hilarious to have Christmas lights be that thing. Like that's what I talk about at parties.
Like, you, it'd be
Yeah,
fun
well,
for you to
I don't,
go driving through the neighborhoods and judge who's got good Christmas lights or not.
exactly. Yeah, it's so funny.
Uh, What's the craziest shit about that job? That's an interesting job.
Yeah, it's interesting. Well, the worst shit is doing trees. Trees suck because a lot of the time you get whipped in the face by fucking branches and like stuff like that. Or like they just take forever because you got to
Yeah.
wrap like each into it. Anyways, trees suck ass.
Are you
But
literally by yourself just climbing around the edge of the tree, or you got like two guys that are like fucking lassoing
just
ropes to the
n-
right? You got that side.
fucking hey boy. There's last
Regular tree today.
well, sometimes they're like a scatter, so sometimes you just like put the lights up kind of like a lasso, I guess. But most of the time, a lot of the time, it's like you wrap each individual branch,
Uh,
and so there's like 500 fucking branches that you wrap tightly with lights, and it just sucks. But I don't know. There's some interesting stuff. Like it's kind of nerve wracking a lot of the time. Like I'm up on top of banks and on top of fucking really tall houses and
yeah,
hospitals and shit. There's the biggest thing is these trees that we like. They're like 30-foot Christmas trees, and we put them together. They're like made out of metal, and you would bolt the metal beams together like rings, and then you
yeah.
ring it all the way up, and then you put each individual branch on it. But you just like climbing up that thing 30 feet high with no
No strap.
whatever. Yeah, just fucking up there. But I honestly that I kind of like doing the Christmas those big ones. They're kind of fun. It's like kind of fun to monkey around on those. It's like a big jungle gym.
Yeah. See, that's a job where you'd never probably think growing up like that's going to be a job for a little bit. Maybe you did, I don't know.
I don't
But
know.
then you do it, yeah, and it's just it could be shitty if you make it shitty, but it can be fun if you make it fun too. Like,
Yeah, it's been pretty nice because I like my coworker Brett that I work with, and my
that's huge.
boss Ryan is a really cool guy. Like he was my athletic trainer, like personal trainer back in high school when I was training for like soccer in college and stuff.
Yeah, that's fucking huge. Labor
Yeah,
jobs, if you like who you're working with, obviously makes it so much better. Because you're kind of
definitely.
just hanging out, like doing something, I guess, physical. It's almost like, yeah, some sort of weird workout.
Yeah, it is a little bit. I mean, it's not so bad some days. or a lot of the days, it's like it's you're working outside all day, so you like getting fresh air all day long. You go to a bunch of different houses and do different, like climbing up and down ladders 40 times a day, 70 times, whatever it is. So yeah, it's like it's nice to get a workout in because I don't fucking work out. I have the worst motivation. Oh my
But I've
god,
seen your
especially
gym stories.
you see my gym stories
Yeah.
like once a year.
Yeah, once a month or something.
Yeah, I go I go. I don't have a pass, so if somebody has like a guest pass to a gym, I like to go with them, and then I
Yeah,
always overdo it because I'm like, if I'm gonna be in here, I'm gonna be in here.
exactly.
So I just like just kill myself, and then I'm sore.
All right, man. Let's get into yourself here.
I like it.
Uh, so obviously we know each other. That's why this one feels almost more just like a regular. I mean, it's the first FaceTime Zoom call, but it feels like
Right?
we're just chit chatting.
Yeah, just chatting away.
Which they all do, but yeah, I don't know. This one feels a little different. But so tell me how it was growing up in Fargo. And I know you've told me some things in the past, but feel free to repeat something if you think you already said it to me. And I guess just kind of how you were growing up as a kid. I know you were in sports, and then how your life kind of got taken over by art and music, ceramics, all of that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, being in Fargo now is different from how I felt about it when I was growing up. You know, now I have an understanding of what different cities are and whatever. You know, like bigger cities. I've lived different places, seen different things. But when I was growing up, Fargo was where I was from. You know, it wasn't anything different than any other kid growing up in New York or wherever they grow up. I mean, I grew up. I was really big into sports, especially soccer. Soccer was my main sport, but I played basketball and I was in track. Um, my dad's a big sportsman, which
Hmm.
is pretty common out here. So like
Like
big hunter,
outdoorsy.
fisherman,
Yeah.
yeah, hunting, fishing, all that jazz. He's really big into that stuff. So that's always been one of my biggest things. I'm not super into fishing, although I'm wearing a fucking fishing hat right now. But
Like a,
uh, uh, yeah, I mean, I grew up going pheasant hunting and duck hunting and deer hunting and turkeys. Actually, I'm going turkey hunting in like a couple weeks here.
mm-hmm.
Um, but that was like one of my favorite things to do as a kid, and it still is. And I got all that from my dad. And that's kind of me being a product of North Dakota as well. Like that's I think a little bit more unique to the Midwest or North Dakota.
Mm-hmm.
Growing up doing so much outdoorsy things, being an outdoorsman. Yeah, I was really into sports, but my mom was a dance teacher. She's retired now, but she taught dance for 30 years or so. And she danced professionally in the cities right out of college for a few years, and then she moved back to Fargo. Um, she grew up on a farm like 20 miles outside of Fargo.
Yeah. Any
She moved
specific
back to,
style of
any,
dance?
yeah, modern dance.
Modern
So
dance.
it's like kind of like ballet. It's like very, I don't know, like flowy
Yeah.
expressions doing like all these different moves like
Yeah.
that. I don't know exactly. I can't describe it all that well, but it's nothing like hip hop or jazz or
Yeah.
tap dancing, any of that kind of stuff.
Free flowing movement almost.
Yeah, yeah. Basically, that's what it is. Interpretive dance almost.
Yeah.
And so when I was like 6, 7, I was in dance. I was the only boy in the class, so I think I was half embarrassed, half trying to show off. And I was also as a kid, even now, but like especially as a kid, I was like all the eyes are on me, all attention on me. I need to be ridiculous. I need to like make people laugh. I need to be the most impressive person in the room, whatever.
Yeah.
So I was always that way. And I was in dance with my mom, and I was the only boy. And she booted me from the class because I was such a little shit. I was like, I think she got complaints from the other moms, like the other parents, that I was disrupting class too much because I was just trying to show off to the girls, like
Yeah.
how far I could leap and yeah, and just like
Use long legs, Sally.
Yeah. Lucinda was my girlfriend back then, like when I was
Lucinda?
6. Yes, she
A
was
cool name.
like very tomboy. We had matching Batman costumes that we would wear to dance class sometimes. So I mean I have a mix of,
How old were you?
growing up 6 or 7,
Okay, so really young.
really young, yeah. And so I got my dad's pretty kind of artistic as well, but he's like I got so much of that like outdoorsman and sportsman stuff from him.
Hmm.
And then my mom was a lot more like emotional and an artist, she's a dancer and she writes poems and things. And so when I was growing up, like if I was really angry, she would I would be lashing out at her or whatever, and she would be like, "Why don't you draw me a picture about it to tell me how you feel?" So I would draw what I felt, um, or things like that. Like she would just that was like a good way, easy way to calm me down, and I could
Yeah.
still express my emotions, but I was doing it through like an art form. And I don't think that I realized that necessarily, but she kind of tricked me into it or whatever.
Hmm.
But so I've been doing. I got a lot of the art side and like expressing emotion through in different ways than just expressing it, whatever, verbally or whatever, um, through my mom. So yeah, it was a cool. I got pretty lucky with my parents growing up with who I did. So I got like kind of every world combined
Yeah, you got a good
into
mix there.
one.
And an interesting mix too, honestly.
Yeah,
That's really cool that she had you do that.
right.
I would
Yeah.
never have thought of that.
Yeah, I mean that was just like that was just like the normal for me.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't anything out of the I mean that was just how I grew up, so it wasn't anything out of the ordinary. It's like
Was there other
I kind
things
of
she had you
always
do that are kind of unique in a sense like that?
um yeah, I mean like I had plenty of friends who they would be playing video games or like they had all the toys and all that shit, and
Yeah.
my parents were like, "You don't fucking need that stuff."
Hmm.
And so I don't know if this is special at all, but like if I was ever bored or something, my mom would be like, "Well, you could draw or you could have a cheese sandwich." I was like, "I don't want a fucking cheese sandwich. Gross. Get out of here, cheese sandwich." No. Like, but it was always kind of like smaller things, like you could draw or you could if you want a snack, you can have a cheese sandwich. I like go to my friend's house, they had like Chex Mix and shit like that. I've
Yeah.
gotten a cheese
Gushers.
sandwich. But yeah, Gushers.
That was my shit.
Um, but yeah, I don't know if we would always play this game. We would do like rhyming games in the car a lot on road trips. And then also on road trips, like one game that we played all the time was like, uh, you take a piece of paper, you make it into 4 segments, 4 different ones, and then one person draws like a random thing, just like a squiggle or a circle with a line or whatever, draws a random thing in each corner, and then you give it to your partner, and they have to come up with a picture. They have to like
Yeah.
make a picture out of whatever that small little thing was.
Okay.
So I played a lot of like, does that make sense?
Yeah, for sure. In
So I
each square or like in the whole piece of paper?
doesn't even matter about the square. That was just so you could use four tries in one
I
piece of
see.
paper. You're not
Yeah.
wasting paper.
Yeah.
But basically, it was just like, what can you create out of this small little thing? So I've always just been doing things like that, like, taking a little piece of something and then trying to create something out of it.
That's really cool. She definitely, just from those two things, sounds like she definitely molded you through, yeah, like art expression
Definitely,
in a way.
definitely. And speaking of molding, there's a dance thing she still does. She does it with with my niece and nephew. It's mostly my nephew now. He's like 4. My niece is like 10. But there's a dance thing called Potter and Clay, which is kind of ironic, or maybe it's
Yeah.
not ironic. Maybe that's just foreshadowing. But we would do that. And it's like there's a song that she plays, then one person stands there, and the other person like moves their hands and their arms and their feet and their body into some sort of a shape, and then they have to stand there while the music plays. And you have to stand in that shape, whatever it is, and then the other person like skips around you, and
Yeah.
then you take
So
turns doing that.
one person is moving the other person's body. molding them.
Yeah. So like I would, if it were you and I, you would stand still and I would move you into whatever shape that I want to move you into. Careful.
Yeah. How
Pause.
old were you? Did you
Uh,
start playing this? Or how old did you stop playing this game? I should ask.
oh, I still play. I play it every night.
Yeah, after the bar.
Yeah. With my mom. Yeah. Well, get your mind out of the gutter. I'm talking about a children's game here, Colton. But yeah, I just grew up doing like
Doing
weird
that.
shit, like weird shit like that, you know. Which I am happy to have. I'm glad that I had those experiences growing up. I think that it made me, I don't know, I'm better at expressing things in art forms because of those things, I think.
No doubt. I mean, like anything, it's just practice. You were doing it since you were a kid. Just
Right.
it was just normal for you. So then,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, continuing that into the future, it just would have been what you were already kind of practiced at.
Yeah,
The easiest way. You already knew what you were doing a little bit.
for
But
sure.
so how did that lead into, I guess, then ceramics and music?
Um, well, I was always really interested in music. Like I remember watching American Idol when I was like 6 or 7. And not that I could have, but I had the confidence back then. Like when I was like 6 or 7 watching American Idol, I remember saying I could make it to Hollywood
Yeah.
when I was like 7. And my brother's like, no, you fucking couldn't. I was like, yes, well, I think I could.
Yeah.
And so like, I don't know, like I was always really interested. I probably could, I'm sure I couldn't have. I was fucking 7, but I thought that back then, you know.
Yeah.
But I was always really interested in music. And the pottery thing, like I took like a class when I was 10 or something really quick. And then in high school, I got into pottery. I did like 1 day of pottery. Well, my high school is really small. So I not crazy small, but I graduated with like 65.
It's pretty small.
Yeah. And we only had one potter's wheel for the whole school. Like you got 1 day for the whole entire semester to make something on the wheel. Everything else was like at the table
Yeah,
making
one
like
day.
so like the rest of the class was just like hand building stuff. So like making boxes just with slabs or making
Yeah.
coil pots or pinch pots or whatever.
Mhm.
But I sat down at the wheel and like was just like uh, decent at it right away. And my teacher was like, "You're good at this. You should keep doing it." And so I did, and she was really cool. She worked there, taught there for like a million years. She's like the cool old lady pottery teacher who didn't give a shit. And
Yeah.
so she would just like give me the keys whenever I wanted them to the pottery studio. And so on any of my study halls during lunch, after school, whatever, I would just like go in there and just practice, make pots, make
Mhm.
pots. And then the next year it was she retired and there was a young teacher that came in. And I just told her, I was like, last year the teacher just gave me the shit to go do whatever I want.
Yeah.
Is that okay? And she was like, yep, no problem. So she and I hit it off really well too. And um, I just got the chance to, I had 2 study halls all of senior year, and I went in there during both study halls and lunch and after school every single day and just like made pots constantly.
Yeah.
So that's how that started. And then I didn't know what I was going to do in college. I didn't know what my major was going to be. My mom was like, why don't you be an art major? You're good at it. You like it, whatever.
Hmm.
So then I decided to do that, and I just kept on doing pottery, and that's like where my focus was. I was an art major, but focused in ceramics. Like I couldn't paint you a picture
Yeah.
very well, but I could make you anything out of clay.
So that really
Um,
came on late into high school. Like you kind of just
yeah,
got.
I didn't really. I had never done anything on the wheel until my junior year of high school,
Hmm.
and I never really worked with clay. Like I'd worked with like modeling clay that kids use just to like fuck around, like make a snowman or something.
Yeah. Almost like Play-Doh shit.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Just like any kid does, working with that stuff. But I didn't. I was introduced to ceramics really in like junior year of high school.
And did you just love it right away? Is that why you were doing it so much, or was it just you were bored and wanted something to do, or
Um,
like when you first did it, was it just like, wow, I really want to do this?
I
Continue.
think that it was like this sounds a little cocky, I guess, but well, not even really. But I was like the only person at the school that was interested in it. And so I was the only one at the school that was doing it, and I was doing it pretty well, like
Yeah.
for just starting. Like I was good at it right away. It was just came naturally kind of.
Yeah.
And so I was like, I don't know, I was just really interested in, I thought it was cool to like be the pottery guy, you know?
Yeah. It
Like
gave you something
be
to
the
stand out with.
right. Yeah, I was like, oh, he's the one who does pottery. He does that stuff like, and I just like that. I don't know. I'm it's a strength and a flaw of mine that I
Yeah.
kind of have to stick out, or otherwise I'm in trouble.
I mean, I think, yeah, I guess that's well said. It's a strength and a flaw. It's not a bad thing to want to be good at something. Like, that's different. Not at
Yeah.
all. I don't even know if it'd be a
Yeah.
flaw.
I'm a bit of an attention whore, but I tried to not be for a few months, like a few months ago. I just tried to be like the quiet guy at the party who just fucking sits back and doesn't talk to anybody. And I hated myself. I hated it. I couldn't live. Like I was so bad at life when I was like that. And then I was like, I just started being like a little bit annoying again. And I was
Yeah.
like,
I'm
is not
annoying.
this is who I am. Like I can't help it. I can't change it. I just have to be this, or otherwise I'm gonna fucking hate myself.
Wait, so you were
So,
going to parties during COVID?
dude, never. I'm talking about Zoom. I'm talking about Zoom parties, baby.
I'm the guy in the screen in the bottom corner who stays quiet.
I'm talking Mountain Dews, baby.
Mountain Dews. That's funny, yeah. I feel like I've been both, honestly. I feel
The
like,
annoying guy and the quiet guy.
yeah,
I wouldn't call you annoying really in any circumstance, but you definitely are good at putting yourself out there when you do. You're good at doing both.
yeah, which is interesting because like when people say, "Oh, I'm an introvert, I'm an extrovert," I feel literally like I can be both.
Yeah,
Depends on what I'm doing, and I guess just what I want to be at that moment. I don't know. Not even like a conscious decision, but I guess maybe if it's really fun and it's exciting to me,
right.
if I'm trying to talk to people or like meet new people or um, maybe make something a better time than it is, I guess, like try to make something the best
Yeah,
possible.
I think you're a very good conversationist.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
Well, I do. Yeah, I have a tough time asking questions. I'm not very good at it. I'm good at answering them, but I'm not very good at asking them. I think I've been at places with you where just like you just strike up conversation with anybody, and
Yeah, I
that's yeah, that's something that I wish that I was better at.
feel like you can do that.
It just doesn't come. It doesn't come naturally to me.
No?
No. I think that you're a good. You're just good at keeping the conversation rolling.
Well, dope. I appreciate that. Maybe I'm right where I need to be then,
I think so.
making conversations. But yeah, it's just interesting because I feel like in high school I was. It's weird. This might sound a little cocky as well. Like I know I was a popular kid in high school,
Yeah.
but at the same time, when I look back, I feel like I was a lot more introverted than I am now. So, you know
Mm.
what I'm saying? And like I would even at say like a party or something, I would small talk, chit chat with, people I didn't know. But for the most part, I would stick with just like around, I guess, my couple closest friends. But I knew most of the people and like knew of them, but I don't know. And then kind of going into college, I feel I became more extroverted. But again, in college, you don't know everybody either. So like again, at parties, I'd kind of stick to the crew I came with. I don't know if that makes any sense.
Sure.
But
Yeah.
like now I do feel like I would talk to anybody and for the most part would be comfortable with that. But as a kid, no, not at all. My dad used to try to make me do that. He would try to make me go ask questions to random people, which sounds really bad with no context. But like if we were like like if we were out somewhere, I remember being at like a golf club with him once and just in the what is it fucking called? In the office or what I'm talking about? The clubhouse.
Yeah, clubhouse.
He wanted me to go ask the guy there something. And I was just like, no. It's like, go ask him. And I was like, no.
That ain't me, pops.
Yeah, I don't want to talk to anybody. But yeah, so that makes sense that you wanted to stand out, especially in a small school like that.
Yeah,
Is that kind of a common thing? Everyone had their thing?
no,
No.
not really. No, I mean, no. I was just always been the weird kid, like a
Yeah.
little bit. Yeah, like I was saying, it's funny watching. My sister has 3 kids. My nephew who's 4, his
Hmm.
name's Levi, and he's like exactly how I was as a kid. And it's so funny like watching him grow up because I feel like I'm watching myself grow up. I learn more about myself from watching him.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, I see how I was when I was 4.
Hmm.
Uh, I see like how I acted and why I fucking seek attention so much and like shit like that, or seeked attention, especially like back then.
Yeah.
But that was, like he's like the clown, the class clown. Like he's got to be funny
It's gotta be
all
loud.
the time. Yeah, he's got to be center of attention. Uh, and if he's not, he's pretty quiet. But if he's not quiet, he's like saying all this funny shit and being like really loud and kind of annoying. And like a lot of the time it's hilarious. And a lot of the time you're like, Levi,
Shut
calm down.
up.
We're trying to have dinner. You don't need to steal my hat and wear it and run around the table 8
Yeah.
times. It's like that's just like I think that's kind of how I was too. And so
That
I
shit.
never grown I've never grown out of that.
Yeah,
Just
you take my hat every time I fucking eat with you.
I love taking hats.
That's actually my hat that you're wearing right now.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't know. It's just funny. Like it's funny to watch. It's funny to be that close to kids around you that like watching them grow up and understanding, I don't know, how you became yourself.
Yeah. Or just
You don't,
reflecting.
yeah, you don't really ever grow out of who you were when you were 2. Like when you were 2 years old, that's who you are now. Like there's different experiences and different, you've learned how to control different things and say different things in different ways and whatever. But at your core, you're basically the same fucking person.
Yeah.
Uh, so it's just funny I don't know, it's funny to watch that happen in front of yourself, like in front of you.
Yeah. Just watching someone be at that stage where yeah, you can relate to, or maybe it sparks even memories for you
Definitely.
where it's like, oh yeah, I used to do that. Oh, that must have been why. And you never remembered that until that moment or something.
Right.
That's interesting. But so when you were ending high school, you didn't want to be like you didn't come into school wanting to do ceramics. Like that wasn't clear to you, I guess. You kind of talked that over with your mom. And did you choose art and you knew it was ceramics, or you just chose kind of a general art degree and then at St. John's you went into ceramics?
So yeah, I just liked doing pottery. Like I didn't think that was going to be my full-time gig. Even after I graduated college, I didn't think that was going to be my full-time gig.
Mm-hmm.
Like I liked doing pottery. I was pretty good at it. And I got like a little scholarship at St. John's for it. And so I was going to do ceramics regardless. Like I wanted to continue doing ceramics, pottery, but I wasn't planning on like being an art major. I wasn't like I never planned that. I've never planned anything in my life. I ever. I'm a horrible planner. Uh, and so I didn't have that planned out at all. Um, but when I got to school, it's like you have to choose a major at some point. I was majorless or undecided for almost all of my freshman year, I think. And I was thinking about being a business major because that's just what everybody does.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's, I don't know. There's majority of the students there, especially I think, are business majors.
Yeah, global business.
Yeah, and that's how you can get a job doing that pretty easily.
Mm-hmm.
Um, But yeah, I don't know. It just didn't. I'm not a planner, so I didn't have that thought even in my head at all. And then eventually, it was just kind of like, oh, this is what you do all the time, and you suck at like being organized and being a business person. So why would you go do that?
Yeah.
Which is also funny because now, like, I'm trying to run my own business. Like, it's they never teach you that, but
Yeah.
it's hard to do that. Like, it's I learned how to make really good quality work, really good quality pottery, but I don't know how to sell it. I'm still like really trying to figure that out. I haven't figured it out at all. Like, I've figured out certain things and small things, and I'm navigating through that as best as I can. But like, that's not something that they teach you in school at all, which I think is silly.
Mm-hmm.
They just say like, here, this is how you make the best stuff, and then fucking figure it out
Mm-hmm.
once you leave here.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, I almost feel like I have to do more business stuff than a business person because I have to make it, run it, make the only difference between me and like somebody who, let's say they sell fucking post-it notes,
Mm-hmm.
is I have to hand make the post-it notes and sell them. Like, it's just extra work. I'm just running a business where I'm doing extra work. So I don't know. It's been an interesting. That's not the question that you asked at all, but it's been an interesting thing
No, that's a,
trying to
I relate
navigate
to
that.
that. I relate to that 100% because I'm in a similar position with this, you know, making the show, then editing the show, and dealing with all the little unique problems that comes up with every single episode.
Hmm.
Um, Wanting it to be good, so actually like taking time, not just kind of blowing through it. But then, yeah, at the same time, trying to learn and teach yourself how to market that,
So
like
hard.
where to market that, and what does that mean, market that.
Yeah, yeah.
um, so I just been, bro, I like almost fucking live on YouTube, man. I just had
Learning
Aaron. What's that?
learning from YouTube videos.
Yeah, I was gonna say YouTube University. Aaron Gray said that last episode. Um, Constantly looking at shit, and I've definitely learned a lot. Like I didn't know how to do anything that I'm doing. Um,
Yeah.
but I'm sure you've looked those up, like marketing. Like I made a, I think I talked to you about this already, like a LinkedIn business page. So I'm trying to grow that now.
Oh yeah.
Um, Follow Gary Vee. He preaches TikTok, which you're obviously doing well on. Um,
Kind
but so yeah, I know what you mean. It's like I wanted to create this thing. I didn't realize exactly that I'm creating a business. Like I want to do that, but I didn't know what that was all going to come with, I guess.
It's so much. I mean, you're doing every single job of a normal business, any business. You're
Yeah.
doing it, every single one of them by yourself. You're the
Yeah.
only one. How the fuck are you supposed to do that? I,
Yeah. That's the thing.
I don't know.
It feels like I've just accepted it. I'm at the point, I'm sure you are too, where it's like, I just know there's never going to be a moment where I don't think there's something I should be or could be doing. It's just like a wheel. At least
Yeah.
for me with this is it's like, oh, I could be doing that. Okay, I should start doing that. I haven't had time to start doing that, but I still got to do this every single week. I've tried to schedule myself, like make a schedule for the shit I have to do, but it always gets off.
Yeah.
So I don't know. We're
It's
growing.
it's tough. But I mean, I think that's anybody who's trying to build their own business is the
Yeah.
exact same way. Like, some people are just have a knack for it and they understand it like right out of the gate.
Hmm.
Uh, but I think the majority of people don't really know what the fuck they're doing, and you just kind of
Yeah.
have to put yourself through it and try to figure it out.
What do you feel is the biggest struggle for you of the whole process? Obviously, it's not making the product, but the business side of it.
Um, Trying to figure out like where to sell or what to sell exactly, because I can make anything,
Hmm.
I could sell mugs, I could sell bowls, plates, vases, planters, fucking whatever you want, platters, I don't know, like anything in that realm. Uh, it's like I don't know what I sell a lot of mugs, but I sell like most of the stuff that I sell is just through like social media or like word of mouth.
Hmm.
But that's not enough. Like if I want to actually have a business, like I can't just try to support myself only through that. Like it's really hard. So like I have my stuff and I've had my stuff in a few different stores at times, but any store is going to take anywhere between like 40 and 50%.
Mm.
So, I make 20 mugs and I would usually get like $800 for that. And give them to a store. And I got lucky the last time. I just sold them to them straight up. So I just made like $400 like that.
Pull it to the store.
Um, yeah, like most of the time, if it's like a gallery or something, they hold it, and if it sells, then you make your whatever. So one mug sells, I make $20,
Mm-hmm.
and they hold the 20 mugs. But rather than that, like what my last thing that I had was they just bought 20 mugs wholesale.
Mm-hmm.
So I just made the $400, like guaranteed 400, rather than like hoping that I get
Yeah.
400. So that was nice. But at the same time, it's like to make 20 mugs and only get paid $400 for that, it's like it's a shitload of work. If I were making 20 cups, that's something different. But like to put handles on them and like do the whole thing, it's a fucking lot of work. So I don't know. It's like it's hard to, and I'm selling, if I'm selling things for $40, for most people, that's quite a expensive thing like, to buy a mug for $40.
Yeah, for sure.
But it's still like I had to sell a lot of mugs at $40 to make a living at that.
Mm-hmm.
Like I would have to sell a shitload of mugs to make it worth my time. So I'm trying to figure out like maybe I should start making really big shit and try to sell to like get like a more wealthy client base, going through like high end stores and selling like giant fucking planters for $2,000 or $1,000 or whatever. So
Yeah.
I sell one planter or I sell 35 mugs. Like I could probably find one little bit wealthier person faster than I can find 35
Mm-hmm.
people who are willing to spend $40 on a mug. But that might not be true. Like that's the hard part is just trying to figure out where to sell, what to sell to who. That's all really tough. And I don't know. I'm just like a pretty scatterbrained person.
Yeah.
So like I was just saying, like I never make any plans. I never planned anything my whole life. I'm really unorganized. And so like compartmentalizing all that shit and like putting it all, focusing all that energy and then like getting a plan and sticking to it is really difficult.
Yeah, 100%. And how are you? I guess how are you going about trying to figure that out? Just through social media? Are you looking people up? Are you looking up videos of other people who have like ceramic studios or what?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Like I have a friend who's an interior designer, so I have some pots in his store. I used to have some pots in my brother owned a furniture store, so I had some pots in that store. I was living in Minneapolis and I had some pots in some different stores there. Um, and that's kind of I don't do a whole lot of like trying to learn about that stuff necessarily like on YouTube or anything. It's mostly just like chatting with whoever I'm talking to and trying to figure it out with them. Um, I honestly, the pottery stuff has taken the back seat for the past like month or two because I've kind of been going like
The
pretty
music?
hard with the music stuff,
Yeah.
trying to get that going a little bit more. Um, I'm trying to release a song like one single a month is the goal.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it's tough for that because I think I might start just like buying or leasing YouTube beats, but I have to talk to somebody about that who's done it because I don't know anything about it. But it's
I've
difficult because
I've
what's
leased
that?
two. I've leased two.
You have?
Yeah.
How does that go?
It was very easy. I obviously you're a lot more experienced in music than I am, but I don't have anybody that obviously I've put out very I'm mumbling here. What I don't have like a producer that I like because are you friends with these guys that you're making music with?
Yeah, but that's the problem is like they're busy guys, so they can't make me 400 beats.
Yeah.
So it's like I get like one or two beats a month maybe to work on,
Yeah. You got to
write a
make
song in like a day or 3 days or whatever, I've written fucking damn near 4 songs in the past 2 days, just like messing around in here. And so I don't have the volume of instrumentals and beats to like write over right now.
Yeah. So that's I guess a struggle of that is I'll try to look up beats online or find producers, or if I like one, then I go to their page and things. And to get to your question, when I did lease two, it was really easy. I just went to his website and I think I paid like $20 for two of them. I think he had a 2-for-1 deal, but there was like levels of the lease, like what you could do with it, or if you could, where you could post it, if you could profit off it, or if you're going to buy it straight up and then it's exclusive to you. Uh,
Sure.
Obviously, what I was trying to say is I'm not putting out a bunch of music, but I like to do that when I have time. I haven't been doing it much lately because I've been so busy with this.
Right.
But yeah, so I did end up actually buying two, and it was really easy um, to do.
Nice.
If they have it set up like that, obviously they're not all gonna have it set up like that. It's all different, I think, between whoever it is that's making it, But
Yeah.
because I was worried that buying it, the quality would be worse, because you just download it. It came in an email as a file,
Yep.
so then I just have them on my computer.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, yeah, so that it was really,
That's it was really easy.
yeah.
My biggest concern with that is like mixing and mastering. I don't know how that uh would work exactly with the YouTube beat. Like
Do you do that
I don't know
yourself?
if you have no.
I was gonna say
I
I
don't know
I don't know anything about that.
exactly. And so like I work with producers who are like building the beats themselves. So they have all the stems. You know what stems are?
So I'm guessing the original.
Basically, yeah, just like
Yeah,
all the tracks.
yeah,
So
yeah.
like I feel like if I get a YouTube beat, it's just
Exactly,
all of it in one.
exactly.
So I don't know how you mix and master. I think you might have to have the stems to do that. And so
Yeah, maybe if
I'm
you
trying to
reached out to the individual, they would send it to you. If you
send
actually
stems.
bought it like exclusively.
I'm sure that's how it works. That sounds right.
But yeah, at the same time, I don't know. That's something I've thought about as well. Like if I actually wanted to take a song serious and try to make something with it, that's what I always
Yeah.
run into. I always have fun with the writing. I come up with shit actually pretty easy in my head. If
Yeah.
I'm doing it at the moment, I'll find a beat I like, I'll write to it. But then I have no like mastering. I'm not a producer, whatever. All that shit, all that side of it. So I get to the point where I can even like lay down vocals or something, and then it just is discouraging. It's like, well, that's that. Like I don't know how to make it sound, better. And like what you're saying, like, yeah, what would the person to master do with just this one track? You know what I'm saying? Uh,
Right.
so yeah, I don't know how that would have to be it.
Yeah, I'm sure you just got it. You would have to get the stems
Yeah.
from the person. That's something that I feel like I should know.
Well, you're just getting into it
But
for
that's
six.
true. I'm only like 2 months in here.
Yeah. And how is that going? Like, obviously you've been singing. I knew you were singing in college and all of
Hmm.
that, but when did you, 'cause it seems like obviously like you're saying you're kind of taking it more serious now. When did that start in your head, if I want to do this, or did you just make that song and because it was the first one you put out was so fucking good, did that one go so well that you were just like, okay, now I'm going to focus on this a little bit more?
Um, it's always been like a goal, if not like my biggest goal. Like I've always been way more interested in music than pottery, than
Really?
fucking damn near anything. Like maybe soccer I was bigger into when I was in school. I was bigger into sports because, like that's the tough thing a little bit about, I feel like growing up in the Midwest or like, Fargo, North Dakota. There's not all that many like of the athletes or like kids that I was friends with that were in the arts.
Mm-hmm.
Like I was really like the only kid out of my friend groups in sports and like things like that. I was really the only one who was not the only one. That's not true. But I didn't have a shitload of friends who were doing art or music or theater or whatever. And I don't know how the fuck I started even talking about this. I completely lost what I was talking about. What was you even ask?
um how you, I guess, how
Oh,
in
when I
recent
got
times,
serious about it.
yeah, you decided to kind of get more serious about music and actually start putting songs out and
Right.
maybe follow that.
Yeah, I basically what I was just getting at there is I've always been like really interested in it. I didn't follow it super closely in high school, like pursue it really severely because I didn't have very many friends doing those things. So I was probably bigger into sports back then, but it
Hmm.
was always like in the back of my mind, like I want to be a musician, I want to be a singer, I want to go perform and do this constantly.
Hmm.
And then in college, I was in a cappella group all 4 years. I've been in a few bands. I've been a singer in a couple bands since college. Right before COVID, I was in a band in Minneapolis, and we were playing a few different venues there. We played Poorhouse pretty frequently, but we were only a band for like 6 months or something, and then COVID hit. We had all these gigs lined up, and then they all got canceled because of
Wow.
COVID. But then I came back, so I was like really trying to pursue it like for real in Minneapolis. We were writing a few original songs, but we were pretty fresh, like really new.
Hmm.
So we only had a couple, and that was actually a really difficult group to sing in because we were playing like kind of like wedding music, like wedding dance music or something,
Yeah.
where you gotta sing like 800,000 different fucking styles, and most of them were too high for me. And so like every practice and every show, I would lose my voice because I'm like going for it. I'm scream singing half the time and like really trying to like, I'm singing Hey Jude, like, Hey Jude, Jude, I Jude, I Jude, like fucking screaming my lungs out. And so that was a tough group to sing in. But anyways, I've always been like really trying to pursue it a little bit more. And then I kind of figured out how I'm in the process of figuring out how to like write and release my own music.
Yep.
Um, the one day I literally just like kind of happenstance that I ended up going over to Obi's place. Do you know Obi?
I
He
don't
went
know
to St.
personally.
John's.
I don't think.
Okay,
I
so
know
well
you've
he went.
mentioned him before, but I don't remember ever meeting him or anything.
Okay, yeah. Well, he went to St. John's. He's really talented
Hmm.
musician, singer. He was in Johnny Blend with me all 4 years. Yeah, it was like happenstance that I went over to his place. My friend Summer, who's a singer,
Hmm.
she just invited me to come over and hang out. And I'm going in thinking like, oh, maybe I'm just gonna chill like at this studio session, hang out, or maybe we'll like work on a track together, me and Summer.
Hmm.
But I got there and she was like, do you want to make a song? You want to start working on one? I was like, fuck yeah, like absolutely I do. And so Obi put the beat together in like 10 minutes or so, like 10, 15 minutes basically. Like we had the beat set out, and then I'm not like a great freestyler.
Hmm.
I could write something pretty quick, but it'd take me, I don't know, at least like 15, 20 minutes or
Yeah,
something to like
for sure.
compartmentalize and get a good idea. So I didn't have anything like in my head at the time, but I just looked through my notes on my phone and found some lyrics that I had written like a couple months before or something, just like fucking around in my car. And then, yeah, I just went up on the mic, started singing those lyrics. I got like the whole first verse done, like let me take you to my favorite places, baby,
Hmm.
whatever, doing that whole thing. And then once I was done with that, I just like did like a little riff, which is actually like an homage to Lost Without You by Robin Thicke. He does like this little riff where he goes woo hoo, oh baby,
Hmm.
oh darling, he does that. And so I just like did that. And then Obi and I kind of like worked through it together and like added some harmonies and did some like echoing shit
Yeah.
and turned that into the hook. And then the next day, he was like, "Do you have time to come in tomorrow and work on this?" And I was like, "Yeah." So I was only in the Minneapolis for like 2 days.
Yeah.
The next morning, I got up and just started writing. I just wrote the rest of the song and then went back and recorded with them. And I went back like a week later. I was back in Minneapolis and we just like touched up on a few things, but it was literally like 3 hours total. I don't know how much he did, how much work he did, probably a lot more than that, like outside, like doing producing and
Yeah.
like cleaning things up. But it was like really quick. That was Caramel Delight. Like that, it just happened like really fast. And
Yeah.
since then, I've been like, fuck, people like that song. I like that song. I had a blast making it. Like all I want to do
It's a
is
good song.
write, and get some music out.
It's a good fucking song, that's for sure.
Thanks.
You can blast it right now. So I'm telling you,
Yeah.
definitely keep going. Cause yeah. Did he master it? Does he do
I think that he did all. Yeah, he mixed and mastered it and produced it and everything.
That's the thing. If you could, find someone like that, or if you could work with him more,
Right.
like it sounds like that's what you would need. 'Cause that's what again I always run into, and you'll hear of artists who do all that themselves, but obviously most of the time it's like, some guys doing the vocals, some guys producing the beat, and maybe someone else is even mastering it. But if you could get a working relationship with one person like that, and you like what they make, and you guys obviously work well together, like that would be tight.
Yeah.
Bro. And then you could just produce shit.
Right. That's kind of where I'm at. Like right now, I've got Obi and this Keon who did the second song for me. I've been working a lot more closely with Keon.
Hmm.
We've got like 4 tracks in the works or something, and I've got 1 or 2 other ones with Obi.
Yeah.
Um, but I'm kind of constantly on the search for more producers because everybody I'm already learning. Everybody's got their own style. Like I've got my own singing style,
Hmm.
and you've got your own singing style or music style
Hmm.
or podcast style.
Yeah.
And Obi can do a lot of different things, but he kind of has his style, and
Yeah.
Keon has his style. And so like I want to find as many people as I can and work within their style,
Yeah.
like
You just
within
want to
their niche.
diversify.
Yeah, exactly. Like I think that's so cool just to be able to collaborate. Like that's my favorite thing so far. I've been doing this for whatever. It's been 2 months, and I've been talking to whatever. I had 7, 8, 9 people already chatting with them about doing collabs or having them produce beats, or we'll sing on a track together, things like that. So it's just like it's so cool to like put your shit out there and then have somebody be interested in it and want to work
Mhm.
with you and be like interested in what you're doing.
Yeah. Have it well received.
Yeah, definitely. And just like open up more opportunities. Like it's like, oh, I want to sing with you. I'm just gonna ask you and listen to the stuff that I've done, and if you like it, let's work together. And it's
Hmm.
like, I don't know, it's just a cool thing. I haven't really had, it's not like that in the pottery world. Like unless it is a little bit, but not really. Like
Yeah.
the music world is so collaborative, and it's just like you can meet so many interesting people through it. I'm
Yeah.
excited about doing that.
Yeah. You really need each other for the most part.
Yeah, I mean, I
That's,
couldn't do anything if I didn't have producers or people playing instruments. I'd be useless.
that's what I was gonna say. Yeah. Unless you're like a master of everything, like you're Cole or
Right.
Connie or someone, like you need someone to do all those
Definitely.
other jobs.
Right. Right. Like I feel pretty lucky. Like I feel like I'm almost getting off. I'm like cheating. It feels like it's so weird because the producers do most of the work and they don't get any fucking recognition. It's like
100%.
the artist is the face of it, and all I have to do is write some fucking words and sing some notes. Like the producers are like, we'll just use Keon for example. He plays the guitar, he plays the keyboard, he fucking puts the beat in there, he like adds all these different sounds, he mixes and masters it, and whatever, he'll like make a simple beat and then he'll send it my way, and all I have to do is be like fucking yeah, yeah. And then he does the rest and I get all the credit. It's the weirdest thing. Like I can't, it's like I can't even believe it. I feel like I don't hardly have to do anything.
It's funny you say that because I've been thinking that exact same thing when I don't know, just music in general. When I'll watch videos or something of behind the scenes work or whatever, or even today, like say specific. I don't have anyone off the top of my head, but like I feel like now there's like this genre of rap that's really this might piss some people off. That's really bad. You know what I mean? But like the beats are dope. So you listen to
Sure,
the song because the beat is sick as fuck, but the rap is kind of it's whatever. But then you know you listen to it over and over again, you just get used to it. But
yeah.
yeah, the artists get all the credit, and the
It's
producer's the
whatever.
one that made what I like.
Yep.
Like, or just in
Yeah.
general, like you're saying, even if it is a good song and the lyrics are good, like if the producer's making the beat and then mastering it and working on it, yeah, they are doing so much more. So
Right.
it's funny,
Like,
interesting that yeah, how has that been going on so long where they're not getting more credit? It's just the face of the song.
yeah, you gotta have the face, and I mean, there is something to it. Like, I gotta be able to write. You know,
100%. Yeah.
I always try to write. I'm trying to write catchy hooks.
Hmm.
Like, you can be fancy, you can do whatever the fuck you want in the verse. You can say a million words a minute in the verse if you want to, but on the hook, I'm trying to like write something that I think that everyone can sing along to and
Yeah.
that everyone will fuck with. And so I put a lot of thought and energy and time into doing that, and then like trying to figure out how to like write like a cohesive song that the whole thing makes sense within itself. But I'm not that's so I feel like that's so much less work than what they have to do.
I
I really do.
mean, it's work and it is creative, but yeah, they're I
Yeah,
agree with you 100%.
like I could do my part in a day,
Hmm.
and they're gonna, no matter what, they could not. I don't think. I mean, maybe, but I don't think there's anybody who could fucking flesh out, produce, mix, and master a song in one day.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think that there's way more time and things that go into the
See,
production side of it.
that's what I'm thinking right now too. Maybe it is actually a lot easier and we just literally don't know what the fuck they do. So it's it was like that must
Ah.
take forever. And they're like, you just said he put a beat together in 10 minutes. He was like, I'll master that in a half hour. I'm good.
Yeah, that's true.
I don't know. I'm just a guess, but
But it's still like they cut and paste everything
yeah.
together. Like, they mix the vocals. I
Hmm.
I mean, sometimes you'll use like a I don't even know what you call it, like a patch, basically, or like a preset for your vocals. So like when I've worked with Obi, he has like a preset where he has everything leveled out. And so when I sing, like, he doesn't really have to mix my vocals much, because they like come through the microphone and they're like instantly mixed through that preset mixing
Really,
thing.
that's
And so
cool.
they sound right away.
Yeah.
Well, like when I'm working with Keon, he he goes in and mixes each one individually, and like,
Does it
yeah.
proper.
So yeah, it does every single one of them manually.
Every
So
single
my
little say
every single
word.
yeah, every single vocal piece, like if I sing whoa,
Hmm.
then he would mix that one. Or if I'm singing like
Hmm.
it's easy loving you. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Like each one, he like takes that sound bite and mixes it, and then, whatever, to make each
Yeah.
of them sound like as perfect as possible.
That sounds a lot like I had another friend on the show before who works as a studio engineer, Max. I think
Yeah,
we
I
talked
listen to
about it
that
a
one.
little bit. That's how he says he does it as well. They're literally looking at every single fucking word.
Yeah.
So that's why it's like, okay, dude, that sounds tedious as fuck. Like I know how it is editing
Fuck
videos and
yeah.
editing audio, but every single word, yeah, it would be also tedious. And yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm
I
with
mean,
you there.
props to the fucking producers. They're the real ones.
Hey, we'll keep it. You need some credit too. We'll keep it like that.
Wow. I just get all the credit. I don't need to give myself, and we don't even give me any credit right now. I
Yeah.
get the songs already.
Are you trying to be in like a genre? Are you trying to be, just as an example, like a pop singer or like a hip hop artist? Are you trying to go for a
Um,
lane like that? Or are you just making whatever feels
I'm
right at
kind of
that
just
moment and whatever comes out comes out?
I'm kind of just making whatever comes out, but it's all coming out as like the shit that I listen to, and the shit that I really like is like R&B soul. So like neo
Yeah.
soul. I make it. I've been making things a little bit poppier. I feel like they're kind of poppy because they're just like so fucking catchy.
Hmm.
Uh, or I'm trying to make them pretty catchy.
Yeah.
So that I feel like kind of leans into the pop side of things. but I would say yeah, like R&B, soul, neo soul, alternative R&B. Um, yeah, I think that I've thought about this too. It's so funny that I'm thinking about my like future all the way down the road as a musician already. I've been like doing this seriously for such a fucking small amount of time, but I've been thinking, I've been thinking like, I don't know, I can't be 40 fucking years old singing these songs that I'm writing right now and being like, "Ooh, I'm Danny Boy. Mm, let me show you around, baby. I want to fucking love you." Like that'd be weird if I was like 45 singing that shit. And so like how can I if I'm gonna like try to go for like a music career, how can I like make it long lasting, and how can I if I what if I get to age 40 and like I'm the fucking weird creepy 40-year-old guy who's singing these like sensual love songs calling himself Danny Boy, which I feel like for a 40-year-old is a little bit like kid like. I don't know, it just seems a little weird. So like but I think that I'll be able to just like, I'll pick different music at that point. But I would really like to sing the fucking blues. Like I don't get very much of that. I haven't yet in like the stuff that I'm recording and the stuff that I'm trying to record. It's a lot more like this style of guy. Like, ooh, mm-hmm. But like I kind of want to be
Yeah, and I'm
like,
hot.
like fucking sing the blues, like let it out there, get some fucking rasp in there, like
Yep.
sing about my troubles, and like I don't know, I will definitely do some. I would like to put out an album. I don't know, at least an EP, probably this year if I can.
You should.
But it'd probably be later this year because I'm kind of going down the same craft singles train right now.
What you say the craft singles?
Yeah. uh, but yeah, I'd like to put some like bluesy shit on an album if I can.
Yeah, bro. Craft. I feel like obviously take this however you want because who the fuck am I? But I think just do it, keep doing what you're doing, like make it whatever you make at the time, and then you'll probably end up finding out what works best for you. I guess people who are finding you and listen to you, and then you can either follow that or make whatever you feel is best, like makes you feel the best.
Right.
Because like you said, you're just starting, so
Yeah.
you don't have to box yourself in already. Like
Right.
and
And
like what you're saying down the line, like yeah, I think if you made this your career, like right, you'd make songs now that would be successful, and then as you get older, you'd make older Danny Boy songs.
yeah, yeah,
You'd be
right.
solid.
For sure.
You'd be
For
solid.
sure. Um, fuck, I don't remember what I was gonna say. I was gonna say something. I don't know what it was.
What was I
I was
saying?
just about to take a drink out of this mic.
What are you drinking?
Absinthe.
Absinthe. Well, I hope it caught it. I wasn't looking at you.
Literally tea and water.
Tea and water. That's all absinthe
Yeah.
is.
Yeah.
Isn't that
Uh-huh.
just tea? Tea and water?
What? This that I'm drinking? Oh, tea? Yeah, tea is just tea bag and fucking water.
Yeah. So it's just tea.
Well, no. This was tea, and this is water.
Hey, we're both doing that. We got double cups.
Oh, 2 cups.
Double fisting.
Two boys, 2 cups. 4
Two
cups.
boys, two fists.
2 boys, 4 fists, 4 cups, 4 lips.
Yeah, that sounds
Can't lose.
like a lot.
2 hearts,
Two hearts.
2 minds, 2 loves.
Yeah,
Can't lose.
two hard-ons. I wasn't gonna say it, but I had to say it. Maybe we'll cut that part out. Anyways.
That shit's funny.
um,
That's like well, at least that's how I like to write, just like that.
how just
Like,
throwing shit
just
out
like
there.
riffing. Yeah, you just saying fucking random words, and then you say something funny like that, and you're like, shit, I could put that in a bar. and then you write it down, and then you're like, how do I make this connect to this line? And then all you do is just like fill in some extra words. But yeah, you could say like, got two hearts, two hard-ons. Make it sound like you're talking about how you got
Danny boy,
about the
2 hearts, 2
hearts.
hard-ons.
Yeah, it'd just be two heart-ons, and that would be the line. But you'd be like,
You'd
did
hear it.
he just?
Yeah. You think they
I
do
know
that?
he's talking about hearts, but did he just say heart-ons?
Yeah, that's what I've been saying the whole time. What do you think? I've been saying hard-ons.
That's funny.
How do you write though? What is your, do you have a specific method you do it, or change every time?
Uh, I basically have a specific method. Yesterday I kind of started doing something a little bit different, which I'm gonna try that exercise a little bit more. I pretty much never write first. I always listen to a beat, and then I'll like scat, sing over the beat,
Hmm.
and just like fill in a melody.
Hmm.
And usually, if I don't have something coming to mind like right away, I'll be like, what style is this beat? Who could I hear over this beat? So like some of my like bigger music influences, people who I think about a lot when I'm like writing, are like Mac Ayres, um, Anderson Paak, Mac Miller,
Hmm.
like Frank Ocean, or whoever the fuck it is. Um, I just think Tom Misch. I'd just be like, what would they do over this beat? Like how would they sound over this beat? And so then I'll just like sing in their style. So let's say if it were like Tom Misch, I don't know if you know Tom Misch, but
Uh,
I just wrote a song. You don't know if you know him.
yeah, it sounds familiar, but I don't think I, yeah.
We maybe actually talked about him a little bit because he was my Spotify top artist of 2019 and 2020.
You
So
probably showed me
uh,
him then.
I listened to him a lot.
Yeah.
But his singing style is a lot more like, it's almost like a talk singing, and it's very like mellow, laid back. His beats aren't necessarily like super laid back, but he is like, he just says like short phrases, and he almost like talk sings them. He'd be like, I could never say no, you with that summer glow.
Hmm.
The music hits me so when winter starts. She told me at the bass line, and
Hmm.
everything will be all right. Like he does it like that.
Yeah.
And so if I'm trying to sing something like that, I literally was just writing one today. Uh, what was it? How'd it go? Ah, fuck. I can't remember how it was, what the melody was. I have it recorded. I'm not on my computer here, but like I just like, be like, okay, I want to write in like a more mellow voice,
Hmm.
short little snippets of things with spaces in between. So if I think about writing like him, I would do that. If I'm thinking about writing like Anderson Paak, it'd be like whatever the fuck it is, like just like
Fucking
trying
love
to
him.
get that. And so then like maybe I'll do some like clever wordplay, be like, that just kind of starts me off. And then I'll like, I'll do that. I'll write one line usually, and then I just spiral off of that line. So it's like if I wrote like, I got tea in my coffee cup,
Hmm.
look at me, I'm trying to get a nut, whatever the fuck it is, like. But I always try to make them like reference the line before, and so
Hmm.
then everything just kind of flows like organically.
Yeah.
Uh, and I'm not a good freestyler at all, but I might get like one or two lines at a time,
Hmm.
and then I write them down, and then I'd be like, what else could I rhyme? And then I'll just fill in the space on there.
Yeah.
Um, that's kind of the process. But I was writing. Most of my songs aren't like super meaningful to me, like the lyrics
Yeah.
necessarily so far. It's kind of just like I'm trying to write something that I think is really nice melodically and like rhythmically and like sounds really good. And the storyline is like good, whatever I'm writing, but it's not necessarily like hitting me in the fucking heart. It's not like necessarily coming straight from here. It's kind of like, how can I just make like a really good song?
Hmm.
And I've been trying to figure out, I mean, that comes from just because it's like whatever the beat is, I just like match that.
Hmm.
But now I'm trying to think about how to like just straight up start with writing my own songs that like writing a melody and writing lyrics that are like really important to me. Like, what do I really fucking want to say?
Mm-hmm.
And then writing that out first, and then, um, finding a producer to
To make it.
turn it into something. So those
Yeah.
are like kind of the two writing styles that I've been using.
It's interesting to hear, yeah, the way you go about it, I guess, because I mean, it's just interesting in general, but comparing it to what I guess I've done, and again, I don't have any music out, but I write a lot. And
Hmm.
I always write first. I've done it before that way, but I haven't actually ended up making anything. So,
Sure.
uh, but that again is why it's always like I need to find someone who's good, like a good producer or somebody that I could, if I ever wanted to do something with these, make it into that, because I always write first. So then I'm trying to find a beat that like fits that well, and that rarely
Right.
happens. It's
It's
like,
really hard.
yeah. So then it usually just turns into something else if it ever is made into anything. But um, it makes sense that you're saying doing the beat first. Yeah, it doesn't feel like it's coming from, I guess, your heart. It feels like you're just matching what the energy of the beat is, not maybe what you're trying to say in some moment.
Exactly. And like and um it's usually shit that I've like gone through, or I have partially gone through, or I understand it because of whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Um like, it's not like it's fake. It's still coming from me, and it's still like
Oh
real
yeah,
shit, but it's not like this is how I feel right now and I'm gonna write about it. Like, I haven't written anything like that really.
yeah,
I actually have a song coming out with Jo.
yeah,
Um, yeah, soon-ish. I'm not sure. I think it's all finished. He's just getting it mixed and mastered.
yeah.
Um, but that one I was a little bit more like I wrote that like straight from the heart, and then I just had it in my phone, and that ended up matching the beat
Gotcha.
that we were working on. But yeah, but usually I don't, um, yeah, like write something straight up like that.
That's exciting, first of all. So I'm gonna
Yeah.
listen to that when it comes out. But do you feel less fulfilled or more fulfilled doing it one way or the other?
Um, I think that I probably would feel more fulfilled if I was writing like something that's like really incredibly true to me. It'd probably be like a lot more therapeutic
Mm-hmm.
to like, actually get like whatever is really weighing on me out, and
Yeah, for
like
sure.
fucking write it down and sing it and put it out there for people to hear. Um, I'm sure that that would probably mean more to me, but this shit means a lot to me already. I mean, music has never really been all that much of like I've never listened to lyrics ever.
Mm-hmm.
Ever, 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 ever. I
And
can't
of other
focus on them.
artists.
Of anybody. Any music that I listen to, I pretty much never listen to the lyrics because I'm so shit at listening. Like, that's first of all, I'm just a bad listener. And second, like, I'm so focused on all the sounds and like the melodies and shit that if I like start focusing on the words, I lose track of what's happening like musically.
Mm-hmm.
And so I can never focus on the words if I like a song. Um, and so for me, like, music has never been all that much about like what are they straight up saying. It's kind of like, what is this song making me feel? Like, what's the vibe of it?
Mm-hmm.
And usually it's I'm trying to fucking groove.
Yeah.
um, I like dancing.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I just it's all about like the notes and the music part of it rather than the lyrics, which is funny because I really enjoy the writing. Like, the lyrics for me is damn near like one of the biggest parts of making music. I just think it's fun to write.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, but yeah, I don't know. Like, both ways I think are fucking awesome to
Yeah.
me.
I mean, if you make something either way, then yeah, if it gets received well, that's got to be, yeah, exciting regardless.
Yeah, I mean, Caramel Delight. I was not expecting the love that it got to be the love that, I mean, I was expecting to get most of my friends who have new music out, like most of my friends who are kind of underground artists have on Spotify, at least they've got that like less than 1,000 um thing
Mm-hmm.
on there. It says less than 1,000, or it says like your total number of streams. And so going into it, I was thinking I was never gonna break 1,000 streams on that,
Mm-hmm.
and I did, like, by quite a bit. And so it was, I don't know, like it was kind of just like an eye opener. I was like, okay, this I can make shit that people like.
Yeah. I mean, that song's exactly, I know we like a lot of the same music.
Hmm.
Sounds exactly the style of what I would imagine you would like. So,
Yeah,
um, at least in the area of that. So I'm not surprised. I guess it did so well because I feel like you
yeah,
like you like songs that actually, yeah, make you feel some type of way, happy, usually excited, like make you want to dance, but not like
yeah,
poppy, kind of like you're saying, like groovy or
yeah.
like jazzy or blues influenced, kind of hip
That's
hop.
all my shit.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's, I love that too, and that's what that song, your song, made me feel like, just like any of
yeah,
the other ones did. So it was cool. Just say,
yeah, yeah. It is a this is a fucking exciting thing.
yeah,
It's exciting to see. I mean, and I didn't put it on a playlist or like I was the biggest thing that I was kind of worried about putting it out there was that I wasn't gonna get it in front of anybody. Like I was like thinking like 10 people were gonna fucking listen to it. You know, like I think with music is well with anything, but with music a lot too. It's so much about getting it in front of people.
mm-hmm.
Like, and that's with anything, or with the podcast or making
Yeah,
pottery or any business, whatever. But
100%.
like, you could make a fucking hit song, and if nobody hears it, nobody fucking hears it. Like,
Mm-hmm.
then nobody fucking listens to it. So like, that was my biggest fear with that song was just that like it wasn't gonna get spread. Like I was gonna have like my whatever 100 friends that and family members and shit that would listen to it, and then it was just gonna like die off.
Mm-hmm.
But somehow it started like gaining traction. It got on like a Spotify playlist on the release radar, which I don't know how that happened because I think you usually have to submit to that. So I don't know who picked it up and put it on there, but it was on there for like a week, and that's where most of the streams came from. Like I have the
Really?
analytics on it, and it's just I don't know. It's interesting to look at, but I don't know. It was I just wasn't expecting it to ever get more than 1,000, and
What is the what is the comparison to the second one? Like, is that one played out any similar way?
Yeah. The second one we like submitted it to playlists and stuff. So me and Keon are in on that one like 50-50.
Mm-hmm.
Uh we're like co-artists on it.
Yeah.
Um and we had like split it submitted it to some playlists and stuff. So we were expecting it to like do a bit more because like we put it on playlists to like get those streams. We made sure that we were going to get them. So right now it's at about half the streams that Caramel Delight is at, but it's only been out for 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
So it's playlisted, should be playlisted for the whole month here. So we have 2 more weeks of like of it being on playlists, and
So
hopefully
it's
we
like a
can.
limited time.
Yeah, it's like we got like this package thing for like a month to get on these different playlists.
Okay.
So it's on like 6 different playlists for a month.
That's interesting because I've looked into that a little bit, trying to find things for a podcast. It's a lot of music stuff comes up
Mm.
for like Spotify and things, and so yeah, you just submit through Spotify to be on a playlist, or is it like people you just pay a
So
person who has a big popular playlist that they've created?
basically, yeah, there's a company called Denovo.
Yeah.
That's what we went through. Um, you just pay that. You buy like a package deal, and then they get it on. The one that we bought was like 4 to 6 playlists for a month, and it should reach like it said like 40 to 60,000 listeners between those
Wow.
playlists. Is what is like the how many people listen to those playlists.
Yeah.
So it has that reach. Whether or not you're gonna break that, I mean, get that many streams is, I think, based on the song, but at least it's gonna be put in front of a lot of people.
Yeah.
Whereas, and with the Spotify ones, like that you can't pay for. Like those ones are like just run by Spotify. You have to just fucking submit it to Spotify, and if they like it, they'll put it on the playlist. Um, so I didn't know what the fuck I was doing on the first go around with the first song, but I just got lucky that it got put on some playlists. It was like on a Discover Weekly too. So I don't know. I really don't know how the fuck it got on those playlists, but
I'm sure
it
it was
was
the
pretty cool
algorithm.
to see.
that
I
ma-
guess, yeah. I mean, it really blew up the first day. Like I thought that I was expecting on Instagram to have like 15 people share it.
Mhm.
And then they were just, well, you were the first one to share it. You and Kat listened to it in the fucking apartment. You guys
Listening to
were
it,
like,
yeah. I
that
think
was awesome.
we were drinking a
Thank
little
you for
bit.
that, by the way.
Yeah, no problem,
Oh
dude.
yeah?
I think we were drinking a little bit, or I knew you were putting out a song, or I think yeah, you were definitely. We were talking about that. You were posting about you were putting a song out, so we were up at midnight, as I guess I usually am. But so I was like, oh, I got YouTube on the TV. So like, I'm just gonna check it out, see if you put it on YouTube, and you did. So I was like, fuck
Yeah.
yeah, and I just blasted it.
Yeah. That was awesome. It was fucking fun to see. But yeah, I mean, you were the first one to share, and I had so many people shared it that like people I haven't talked to in years
Mhm.
were sharing it, and I don't know, it's just cool, really cool to see people give a shit about it, you know?
Yeah, that's the thing, man. If the power of social media when you're creating something is fucking substantial. Like you're saying,
Yeah,
getting in front of people. That's exactly what I'm trying to figure out the best way with this is like doing a podcast so long. There's obviously maybe funny parts, entertaining parts, and then like more serious parts and like educational parts. And it's like, okay, well, you know, I don't want to cut any of it out, but like, what is going to be, what's going to work the best?
right.
How am I going to get people to hear, this part of it? You're not
Yeah.
gonna that's in the middle or something. So if people reshare that on social media or like that's a big thing I've been thinking about. I don't use Twitter for this,
Sure.
but Twitter is unique as in like a retweet. So if you had a song or something you were creating, like a retweet from that one person would get you exposed to all of their
Right.
followers or whoever's on their account, which is
That
not
is a nice thing about Twitter.
yeah, it's not like that on Instagram or anything else really. On LinkedIn, which I just started using a little bit for the business page. I think it's sort of like that because it'll show you what other people have liked. It'll pop up on your feed every once in a while. So if someone likes your
Okay.
shit, it'll pop up to their connections potential.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like a retweet, but it really is just getting exposure to other people to have a chance to see it. Doesn't mean obviously they're gonna like it, but
Yeah.
it's a good song like
I,
that, then you can just catch. But yeah, I don't know.
I like the I like the snippets that you put out. Like on Instagram, you've been
Awesome.
posting. I mean, I see them on on TikTok as well.
Yeah,
And I always fucking like them on TikTok. Um,
appreciate
but yeah, I like those on Instagram or Facebook. Do you post them on Facebook too?
I very little. I want to do Facebook. Um, I've only posted like 2 videos on Facebook, but see TikTok, I have more on there, but I need to be more consistent with it. Facebook, I needed to start doing it. I've only posted 2. LinkedIn seems like it's gone better than I expected on there. So I'm really kind
Hmm.
of leaning into that one more. Um, and then obviously YouTube, and then on my own Instagram and things like that. But because TikTok, it's hard again because for something like this, a minute is the max you can have a video. So
Yeah.
you got to find something. I got to dig through it and kind of find something that makes sense, I guess, within just a minute, or maybe someone would like. But kind of like we've talked about before, a lot of times I'm just cutting up other clips that I've made and just throwing them out there and see which one works.
I think that's good. I mean, I
Yeah.
think just like, when I listen to podcasts, for the most part, like my podcast listening experience is on like Facebook.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'll listen to, I'll go like down, whether that's Facebook or Instagram or whatever. A lot of people watch Reels on Instagram. which is like what you've been posting on Instagram, right?
I've been
Or is
using
it IG?
IGTV. I should do Reels as well, but I
I
have.
think you should do Reels because I think that's basically like TikTok
Yeah,
for Instagram.
yeah, it is.
Like Ilge is fucking sending me Reels like every day. And I'm like, dude, you need to get on TikTok. This is like this is what TikTok is. You should
Yeah,
watch more TikTok.
TikToking, bro.
Yeah. I was like, just send them to me on TikTok. Um, but no, like a lot of the time, like most of the podcast I would say that I listen to the most is Joe Rogan.
Hmm.
But I don't consistently listen to all his long episodes. But I love because a lot of the time I don't have 2 hours or something, but I fucking love sitting down, laying down. Like if I'm like about to go to bed, I'll go on Facebook and I'll just like flip on Rogan podcast, whatever,
Hmm.
and then it just like streams through his videos, and there'll be like 6 minute snippets or 15-minute snippets at a time,
Yeah.
and you like like hear him talking about this one subject, and then once he and the guest are done talking about that subject, it moves on to the next video.
Oh,
Yeah,
really?
like I like, yeah, like
Within
he'll
that
just
same
cut.
episode?
No, like different. It'd be a
Yeah.
totally different episode. So
So
he'll
it
just
just
be like,
flows.
they'll just like post like a little whatever it is, whether it's a minute and a half or maybe it's 15 minutes, but it's like they're talking about this, and he gives you the whole segment, and then once the segment's done, then the video's done. And I think that you're doing a pretty good job with that, with what you're doing like on Instagram. Like I love watching those things, like fucking watching a quick 7 minute video and like
Mhm.
hearing what somebody has to say about a topic. I think that's a good way to like publicize yourself.
Yeah, those have definitely, I think, been the most successful.
Yeah.
But a good point that I don't use Facebook a lot, honestly. So I forget even how it is when I've been on there. I feel like I'm old. Like, wait, what the fuck? How do I use this shit? Am I doing it right?
Yeah, me too.
But because yeah, on Facebook it just goes to the next, doesn't it? Like if you're doing the
Yeah,
video.
and that's what Reels does as well.
Yeah,
I think that's what's nice about it is like you don't have to fucking control it. You can just set your phone down. Say you're like folding your laundry or something. I just set my phone down, and then
goes to the
it
next.
scrolls through. Like I would do that on TikTok, but it's just repeats.
True.
So I usually if I'm going like handless, I'll
Yeah,
go on like Facebook because I know that it's just gonna
mm,
move to the next video.
that's a good point to make. And where are you
Hmm.
going? Because when I've posted on there, I'm just doing a video post. Is there like a Facebook TV, like an IGTV?
I don't know how that works. Well, here you go. So I'm on like this there's a Rogan video right there,
Yep, Kevin.
but it's this blue one
Yeah,
that uh there's like the home button, and then there's a video, not the blue one, the one next to it.
yeah, like a play
There's a
button.
home button, and then there's the play button, and then there's the middle one, and then there's whatever this fucking probably marketplace, yeah. And then there's your own page.
Hmm.
But like you just go into this shit, you click on any video,
Yeah, it just goes.
and then once it finishes, so this video is 8 minutes and 51 seconds long. And then once it's fucking done, yeah, it'll just scroll to the next one, and
Yeah,
the next one starts, you know? So it's like,
yeah,
it's just a simple way. And I think that if you start getting more traction with it, then the algorithm will put your videos with liked videos.
yeah,
So somebody's watching some other podcast, and somebody who's talking about fucking music, their video comes up, and then they're like, oh, Colton's videos are doing okay, let's put him in this bracket with these people, and then just
yeah,
whoever's watching those videos will see yours as well.
yeah. That's interesting. I should definitely get on that. I forget that Facebook was like that.
Yeah, I don't use
Yeah,
Facebook
yeah, at all.
much either, other than that.
It's
So
funny.
it's like, and I don't promote much on Facebook either. I don't like I don't know, and I should,
Yeah,
but I don't.
I barely do it. That's me. I've only done it twice. It's one of the things. That's one of the things that I've like put into like my schedule, but it always gets kind of not booted like on purpose, but it's just shit comes up. I want to stick to the things I've been doing that have kind of worked a little bit.
For
Try to
sure.
grow those more. So it's like something I'm trying to add in, but it keeps not happening, I guess, time wise. But um, Yeah, I'm just wondering if the two I did would even go to a video like that, or if it would just be on. We sound old as fuck. I just don't know Facebook. If it's just going on
Well,
someone's timeline, or if it's going to.
we probably just sound young as fuck. Young people don't use Facebook. Facebook is like
It's really flipped.
for 35 and up, and mostly like grumpy fucking 60-year-olds who are just
Pissed
being
off
trying to
about some
be.
shit.
Oh my God, dude. The amount of like political fucking bullshit from 60-year-olds that you don't care about on that app is insane.
Yeah,
Wh-
that's why I don't go on there. Everything's political.
Yeah, why does Janice from fucking the Dells in Wisconsin think that I care about her opinion on anything,
Yeah,
let alone like fucking if she should wear a mask or not?
yeah. And she's gonna take the
As
time to write it 6 paragraph, 2 paragraph fucking response.
so heated too, just
Yeah,
always so angry. It's just like a fucking turmoil.
yeah.
I don't know. That's so dumb.
Areas of social media that get like that, I definitely try to avoid, but it's hard. Like on Twitter, also, what was it today? It was a there was a photo I was reading the other day. It was Kevin Hart actually. It was just like a comparison, like who's better, Dave Chappelle and Kevin Hart. And obviously people had opinions about it. And for the record, I would definitely say Dave Chappelle. He's the GOAT.
I think
But
I think Kevin Hart would say Dave Chappelle.
I think he would too.
I know he would. I just watched a
Yeah.
video of him saying that actually. It's
Yeah. Just spoke with him about it actually.
Let me call him up quick.
Yeah. But instantly someone just like dove headfirst into like all this detail of like why. And then people are arguing about it just paragraph after paragraph. Like, dude, just pick one.
Mhm.
That's all it's asking about. Dave Chappelle or Kevin Hart. That's all you need to say. One word.
Yeah, I get sucked right into those
Yeah.
fucking videos, especially the Facebook ones, people being political. I think they're hilarious. Like I look at them for entertainment. I always read through the whole thing. And it's like probably not good that I'm like fucking spending my time
Exactly.
reading through all these morons' opinions. Not that my opinion's any better, but I wouldn't fucking post about it. You know, like I'd probably have a stupid ass. Everybody has a dumb opinion on politics. That's my take on politics. Nobody actually knows what the fuck they're talking about. They're all stupid. They're all biased. Every single one of them is like coming from wherever they grew up. If you're like 15, you only spew whatever your parents fucking tell you. If you're 75, you probably haven't changed your opinion since you were 15. Your fucking parents were telling you this shit. So you're just talking like a 15-year-old. So it's like, it's so stupid. I kind of enjoy talking politics sometimes, but most of the time it's just a bunch of dumb people, myself included, talking about something that they don't actually know anything about.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Yeah.
99% of it's biased from some person and from somewhere, arguing with some person from somewhere who lives a completely different life. It's like, bro, you guys, you live in different worlds. Just do you not get that? I'm not gonna argue with someone from Spain about what they do in their day-to-day life and what that's
Yeah.
like. Like, I don't know. America's so goddamn big, I guess.
Fucking silly.
Everyone, yeah. Like even just here, life here is so different than Minnesota. Minnesota and North
Yeah,
Dakota are a lot alike, but even still different.
definitely. I think rural Minnesota, rural North Dakota are pretty similar, maybe.
Yeah. But then you get around like the suburbs or the city, Minneapolis and St. Paul, and
We don't have anything like that in North
yeah.
Dakota. I mean, it was weird actually moving from Minneapolis to North Dakota, the shift in like amount of what people fucking care about.
Was it?
Like, yeah, like North Dakota basically didn't give a fuck about COVID at all. Like they did some mandates, they did a mask mandate, they shut things down like 50% for a while, but for the most part, people had just been going out and doing their own thing. And I have been too. Like I I go out on the weekends, I go do fun stuff. Like I had COVID. My whole family had COVID. Uh and there's some scary shit, but if I start to feel like sick, I started feeling a little bit shitty for like 2 days, and I immediately went and got tested. It was negative, and so then I'm like back to my normal life because
Mhm.
that's just kind of how it is around here. People are just kind of living again. But in Minneapolis, like a lot of my friends in Minneapolis, they're still scared to like go to the grocery store.
Mhm.
Like they're scared to like leave their apartment. They're like, if you want to have them over for dinner, like they can't because they can't leave their house. And it's like it's been a year. Like, like that's so depressing. I would be so depressed.
Yeah.
I know that, but I mean, I probably have a different fucking view on it because I'm living in North Dakota and it's different here. Like, exactly what we were saying, like different here than it is in LA or Minneapolis. Like people just don't really care about it as much, which is stupid. But at the same time, I don't know. It's a weird thing.
I think it's complex because yeah, it's
Very.
you'll hear horror stories of it, and it's like, why don't people fucking take this serious? And then you
Oh
obviously
yeah.
you hear the other side, and it's like, dude, there's nothing, and it's like, okay, well,
Oh, it's a fucking
then-
super serious thing.
yeah.
Absolutely. Like it's not to be truffled with.
But for some people, it isn't. Like that's the thing. That's what's weird about it, and that's why I think it can be so political. Some people it's a cold and they have it for a few days, and like whatever, and that was fucking weak, and some people fucking die and have a
Definitely.
heart attack,
Yeah.
some shit
Like
like that.
I'm just trying to stay away from people who are I think could be at risk, you know? Like I'll go hang out with my friends and
You're saying
then
like,
like
it,
I won't be around old people,
yeah,
you know? Because if I get it, I don't
yeah.
fucking care. I'm gonna be fine. But
That was
I don't want to like go give it to somebody old who could actually really harm them.
exactly.
They'll that's like that's scary as fuck thinking about that. Like that would be horrible.
For the most part, that was my mentality of like, if I get this, I don't want to get it. I'll do what I'm supposed to do to not get it. But if I did, I think I'll be fine. But yeah,
Right.
I don't want to give it to anybody and then be the reason. Like that was a big reason why at the beginning, you know, there was like a week or so before things shut down out here, everything was still open and it was like being talked about as what it you know could be something bad, and working in a restaurant, those were my thoughts of like fuck, because there was a day, the last shift I was supposed to work, I didn't go in because I didn't feel well. That was the week that I was saying I didn't feel good.
Oh yeah.
And I was just like, dude, I don't feel like, it was kind of feeling like a sinus, like pressure in my head, whatever.
Yep.
I didn't feel great, so I didn't, whatever. But I was just like, I should call in because, you always get that guilt about like,
Absolutely.
even if it's a job you don't like, you're like, fuck, I don't want to call in. I don't know. It's psychology trick shit.
Yeah.
But I was like, dude, I
Yeah.
don't want to get someone sick and then they fucking die because I felt weird about calling into work. I don't know.
Right, right. Yeah, like yeah,
Because there was a lot of older
definitely.
people at the restaurant I was working at. It was
Yeah.
a little bit pricier. So the people that would come there were usually like at least 40 to sometimes like 70. Dude, I almost had a girl completely unrelated to COVID, a woman I thought died one day. I thought she died right in front of me.
What?
Like, bro, this is some crazy shit. What? I feel like it was a Sunday. It wasn't busy. And it was this older couple, probably in their 60s or maybe even early 70s. And they had been there a while, and this lady was eating. I don't remember all the like specifics of it, but she started slurring her words. And literally, dude, she like she literally shouldn't be laughing about this.
I was gonna say I'm about to burst out laughing, but I feel like I shouldn't.
She literally
Like,
just
I don't know the end of the story, so I don't know if I can laugh or not yet.
she's just slowly like became unresponsive and put her head down, but her eyes were still open. So then she was just sitting there like this and started drooling. And we're just like, what the fuck? I think they were like tabbing out. So I was like talking to them, and then you could just tell something was up with her. She wasn't like being responsive.
Yeah.
She was just sitting there, like eyes open, not responsive. The husband's like talking to her, asking her shit. She's just drooling.
Jesus.
It's like, what the fuck? This lady just died right in the restaurant, right in front of me. And so we were calling like an ambulance, and yeah, and obviously they came. She was just sitting there, literally didn't respond, probably 10 minutes or so. And then the ambulance came, and no idea. I think I never heard she died.
You don't know the end of the story? Oh, fuck.
They took her. I think she eventually like picked her head up and like was kind of looking around and being responsive more so. But they took her in the ambulance, and
I don't know, she had like a fucking stroke or something.
that's kind of what it's like.
Slurring her words and shit.
Yeah, but it was weird. People, I mean, it's LA, man. So there's some weird people out here, and older people who I think are taking medication or some shit. Like there was this other couple that would come in there, and the woman of that couple, they were probably in their 60s as well. And this lady, half the time didn't make sense what she was saying, would also be drooling.
What the hell?
It was like a toddler.
Yeah.
And they were really slow, like they'd walk in really brittle, like they looked brittle. It just looked like she was like fucked up on drugs. It kind of, not like it looked like it, but like her interaction, she would slur, so you had to like literally get ear to a mouth almost, like to hear what she was saying. And she'd be drooling. She would order shit and then act and then think she didn't order it, and like completely kind of out there. And yeah, I don't know.
That's very weird. I had a friend once. We were out in Minneapolis actually, and it was like late night, 1 o'clock or something, like way before COVID, a couple years ago.
Yeah.
And we were at like Stella's in Uptown.
Yep.
We were like super drunk. There's a place called Tanko Ramen next door to Stella's. So we go to get ramen. Dude passed out in his fucking ramen bowl.
Your friend?
Just fell asleep with his face in the ramen bowl. His name is Squeaks, bro.
I only know one Squeaks, and I can see him doing.
It's the same Squeaks that you know.
It's the same.
There was another day that I was with Squeaks.
Yeah.
And he was doing that kind of drooling thing. He was doing everything that you were talking about minus the drooling. He was just standing at the bar, passed out. He was sleeping against the wall like this for like 2 hours, standing there it's like a wild night too. There's people around him like taking pictures with him. Our friend Cody was like dancing with him. I have videos. He's literally wearing glasses. You were there.
I was gonna say, I have videos of Cody dancing with the drunk Squeaks.
You piece of shit. So you guys left. You guys left the bar. I took Squeaks. The bouncers were like, yo, it's bar close, so you gotta get your friend out of here. Do you want us to carry him downstairs? I was like, nope, I got him. So I fucking picked him up. Firemen's carried him down the stairs, brought him out to the street. He's gonna love that this is on the podcast. I've
talked about him before, honestly.
Brought him out to the street, and we're standing on the street, just me and him. You and Cody and Ilge and fucking Miley were gone, like somewhere else. I don't know.
Miley.
Yeah, no kidding. R.I.P. Miley, motherfucker.
Keep going.
You guys were all gone. Me and Squeaks are standing on the street. He's not responding. He's just kind of talking to that. Squeaks, what's up? You're doing that. And then this dude, this is like 2:30 in the morning at this point. This dude next to us, I'm like looking over here, calling you guys, trying to figure out where you are. I'm like, Squeaks is a disaster. We got to get him out of here. Like, got to get him home.
Yeah.
And then dude goes, yo, your friend's pissing right now. And I was like, I'm like so nervous that he's like gonna get like a public urination, whatever. He's like, pissing on something. Yeah. I look over, piss his fucking pants on the sidewalk, just spraying the ground.
Did he have pants on or did he have shorts on?
Fuck. I think he was wearing khaki shorts.
That's what I mean. So just coming out everywhere.
Just spray. It was like splashing off the concrete. and I'm like calling you guys trying to get a hold of you. You ended up coming over, and like the other guys like went to the club or something like late night. They like went to the strip club, I think, at like fucking 3 a.m, and you came back to help me out, and you fucking just like took off. You're like, I'm gonna go home. So you took Uber home, and then and then I carried Squeaks into an Uber in his piss pants and brought him back to my place. And I tried to get him, like, I was gonna give him some shit to change into, but I couldn't because he was so tired and sleepy. He just falls asleep. So he just slept on my couch in his pee pants.
Pee pants Squeaks. I love you, man.
Yeah. Love you, buddy.
He needs to. I'm not gonna tell him. That's the thing. I'm not gonna tell him. So if he doesn't watch this, even hopefully he does. I guess is my point. Hopefully he
I'll
watches
tell him.
this far.
I'm gonna see him either tonight or tomorrow. I'll tell him.
Oh yeah, you're gonna. Yeah, I have video. That's funny because I don't remember any of that, honestly. I remember. I know I have videos of him, Cody holding him up because he couldn't stand. I think he had sunglasses on at like that new.
Wild Greg's.
Yeah, it was like new. It was right before I left.
Yep.
I think he was like, I don't know what you would say, partner dancing with him, and on.
Yeah, Cody had on like one of those Man brand like pink striped shirts, like a silk shirt,
Yeah.
something that Cody, it was a very Cody shirt.
Very Cody.
Yeah.
So funny. Yeah, I don't remember. I probably actually don't remember the night. I just know I have those videos, so that's the memory. I have pictures of. I saw some friends from high school that night that I hadn't seen in a long time, so I have pictures of that I found like weeks later. I was like, oh, shit, totally forgot I saw those people.
Yeah.
And then those videos. I was like, what the fuck? All right, bro. I'll ask you just a couple more things here, then we can get off.
Sounds good.
I don't know what time. How long has it been? It doesn't say.
I have no idea. Hour and a half.
It's
Hour?
2:30 here.
It's 4:30 here.
4:30 there.
So it's been an hour longer on my side. I don't know what you've been doing. I've been fucking working.
2 hours longer.
How long do they usually go?
2 to 3 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah. So when I have to cut some things out at the beginning, and this one I'll definitely cut a good amount out. Like that, all that shit I'm not gonna show him.
Yeah.
Videos him shit faced. So funny. But
yeah.
That's, I guess, before I ask the question, that's another thing that's like, should I try to restrict? I don't like restricting them. I don't like the idea of trying to, okay, we got an hour and a half, because a lot of the really good parts of the conversation like come later in the conversation.
Sure.
But at the same time, I don't want to cut the beginning out and like jump in an hour. I don't know. I'm learning
Right.
as I go. And
this is a cool thing, man. It's fun to fucking do this. Like even if you were never gonna fucking post it anywhere, it's fun to like just do this, just to have like a long fucking conversation about shit.
Exactly, 100%. That's one of my favorite things about it. Is it just, at this point now, it just feels like something I'm doing, but it's still new. And like I remember right away, it was just like, it felt good to do that, because you never fucking do that.
Yeah.
You just sit down and like speak with someone for 2 hours, 3 hours,
right,
and ask about their life, and then share about your life and shit like that. Like you just don't do that, especially with COVID.
Yeah, it's hard to find people that you really like connect with on the same fucking style. Like in my band, I was kind of talking about this a little bit more earlier, but that band that I was in Minneapolis was like, I really wanted to make the style of music that I'm making now. Like I really wanted to make like soul, R&B, at least like some sort of fucking groovy type shit.
Mm-hmm.
But there were 6 of us in the band, and everybody was bringing a different influence, but most of it was like rock or alternative rock or indie, like stuff like that, which I listened to like indie and alternative in high school a lot, and I listen to it a little bit now, but not really. So it was like I was the only one singing, and I was trying to sing all these different fucking genres and like all the in trying to sing in all these different people's voices. And so it's like really, really, really hard to like have everybody in the band be happy and be like, this is the songs that we want to do and we can do them well. There weren't all that many of them that we did that way because it's like I'm not a shapeshifter. Like I couldn't become I couldn't become a lot of these like sounds very
Yeah.
well that were like different types of music and stuff. And so it's you get lucky to fucking find people that you want to work with in the same niche.
Was there like a dominant voice in the band, or was it always like a collaborative group decision?
It was I would say that I was kind of a dominant voice just because like
Was the one
I
saying?
don't know. Yeah, I was the one singing, and
Mm.
so I tried to be a bit of a dominant voice, but I was also trying to be like cool about it, you know.
Yeah.
But it was very collaborative. Like we all brought song choices that we liked, and if they like worked well or whatever, then we would keep them in the list, and if they didn't, then we wouldn't. But it was like genuinely like I lost my fucking voice every single practice because it's like every song that we did was out of my range, and so like it was in my range enough to where I could hit the notes, but I was stretching for them and reaching and screaming and like I don't know. So it was fun for sure. It was really awesome to like be a part of a band and everything, but it wasn't really the right like vibe for my type of singing.
Yeah. And what about the one you were in before COVID in Fargo? Is that done?
So actually that started up a bit more now with COVID. Like I've been singing with so that one's me, my brother, and my friend Josie, my childhood friend Josie, that we've been
Hmm.
singing together since probably like sixth grade. Um, it's called King Sage,
Hmm.
and uh, that one that one is a little better with like trying to find the styles. Well, that one too is like it's different than what I would like to do as
Hmm.
well. Like I like singing the songs that we're doing a lot actually, and it's really fun because like we can mesh really well. The three of us, we sing. It's just my brother plays guitar, and all three of us sing. And so sometimes I'll sing a song solo, sometimes Josie will sing a song solo, sometimes Phil sings a song solo, but most of the time it's like either one or two, or either like two or three of us are singing at the same time.
Hmm.
So there's a lot of harmonies and stuff that go on, and that's really fun. Um, but it's pretty folky vibes, like slowed down coffee shop vibes because we only have one guitar. So it's tough
Yeah.
to make it like really exciting because there's just a guitar and voices. So it's pretty laid back a lot of the time. But I get to sing a lot of like fun stuff. Like I'm doing a lot more like old soul.
Yeah.
Like I'll sing like fucking Frank Sinatra and Sam Cooke and like fucking Bill Withers and Ray Charles. Like I get to sing like all these like fucking old legends, and those are fun songs to sing. So we're getting a bit more into that, and it's been fun. Like we don't play all that often, um, but yeah, like things are starting to open up even a little bit more in Fargo. So I would like to be playing like a show a week, once a week. I'd be like, why wouldn't we be? I got nothing to do on the weeknights.
Hmm.
It's not really about the money because you don't make shit for money. Like there's three of us, we might get paid like $100 as a group for a set.
Oh, really?
So yeah, or $150 for a set or something. So we get like
Yeah.
$50 each. So it's not really about the money at all. It's kind of just like you get your drinks paid for pretty
Hmm.
much. So instead of spending $100 on the weekend, you're breaking even.
Hmm. And it's
But
practice and fun and
exactly.
building
That's the
awareness.
reason. That's the point to do it is yeah, just get more people to listen to you and go out and have a good time and show people what you can do and you know
Yeah.
bring some joy to somebody's night singing for them.
And so are you recording original songs with that band as well, or just solo right now?
Just solo right now. I'm a lot I'm really big into like writing and creating my own shit.
Hmm.
The other two aren't. so like gung ho about that.
Yeah.
And it's taking a little bit more convincing, but I think we will probably, if I stick around Fargo for a while, we'll have some like original shit because now I have the means to record some of this stuff. I just basically need to get somebody to mix and master it.
Mhm.
But I've been saying for fucking months and months that I'm like, let's sit down, let's write some music. Like I'll write it all. I don't care. Like, if
Mhm.
you guys don't want to write, I'll write it. I'll write all the lyrics. I'll put it all together. That's fine with me. Like I just want to put out some original stuff because I think we could do some interesting things. Um, but yeah, I'm hoping to put out some original stuff like on Spotify and release some stuff with those guys as soon as we can.
Yeah, that'd be fucking awesome. And again,
Mm-hmm.
all of it's just when you think of a lot of successful musicians, or when you look into their backstories, it often seems that, yeah, obviously, like anything, like they were in previous bands, had their ups and downs with that band, learned a lot from it, and then they just kind of, you know, right time, right place, met this group of people or a producer or something, and then like just took
Yeah.
off because they learned everything. So like,
Yeah.
I guess like everything you're learning from that band, and whether it's in your future or not, it's for the better.
Right.
Um,
Right.
just yeah, your music ability and sure just how you're thinking and yeah, writing something with them, then you'd learn and
For
be
sure.
better at all of it for the future.
Yeah. It's a blast. I mean, I love writing. I hated writing in school because it was fucking dog shit
For
prompts.
papers.
Like, yeah,
Yeah.
like papers just are boring. But if I would have had like creative writing classes, I would have loved them.
Mm-hmm.
I would have had a blast in those classes. Like any creative writing assignment that I had in college or in high school or in any schooling,
Mm-hmm.
like it's like one of my favorite assignments ever. Like you just get to fucking write
Mm-hmm.
funny shit or interesting things in a clever way, whatever.
Yeah.
That's my favorite thing to do, damn near.
Yeah. I think we had a class. I don't think I don't remember if I took it or not. I wasn't writing like I do now either
Yeah, me neither.
until right at the end of high school. Like
Really?
right afterwards. I didn't do that then, yeah.
You started writing after high school though? Pretty
Like
consistently?
right at the end. Yeah, like um end of senior year or like that first summer, maybe after. But again, like kind of like you said, just in my notes, I'll write shit.
Yeah.
I actually first started like writing. The first things I think I ever did was almost like a cover per se, you know, thinking of a song and like filling my own lyrics in with
Mm.
that same like almost like flow of it.
Yep.
But then it just became, yeah, um, whatever things that just pop up in my head at any time of the day. Like, oh, that sounds cool together. So that's why
Hmm.
I just have a lot of shit written out in there that I've never try to put into any music. It's just like writing with intent to put it to music, but I've never um,
Right.
done it. But when I have, like, maybe say I'm going to start whatever for fun, make a song with somebody, that's when I've scrolled through and just try to read some of it and see if it fits with whatever we're making. And sometimes it works, most of the time not. But again, I've literally only done that probably 6 times.
Yeah, I mean, you just gotta get the reps in.
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, it's when I think I got files of songs, but like two or three.
Yeah.
I've never done something that like if I like I'm sure that you're the same way. If I'm gonna do it, I want it to fucking be good, and I want to really do it.
Hmm.
And, like I have fun with what I've done before, but we don't have a mix and mastered. We don't have a like a legitimate producer with all this shit. So
Right.
yeah, I don't know.
It's tough. Do you do you do you journal at all? Do you journal at all?
I want to, but I actually don't. But I've been
Yeah.
meaning to. That's kind of
Yeah.
what I'm doing when I'm writing like that, honestly. Because it
Right.
usually is I'm like feeling like maybe anxious. Like sometimes it is just something will come to me and I'll just like I'm not like a good freestyle either, but I'll just be like thinking in my head. It's kind of like a slower like repeating it. Oh, that sounds good
Hmm.
together. That sounds good together. And I'll jot it down and sometimes it'll just come right out of me. Sometimes it's like if I'm, it could be any emotion, happy, frustrated, sad or excited or whatever, that I'll write for that, you know, so it's kind of
Right.
everything. But so it's almost, but I don't journal like daily, if that's what you're asking, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, not even that. That's kind of what I was asking. Is that what you're just saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's good. I don't really journal much either, but I have like all these little notebooks. I have a ton of these little like pocket notebooks.
Hmm.
Um, I got them mostly to um, like draw, sketch out pots and shit.
Yeah.
But they're just these like little tiny
Those are sick.
notebooks. Yeah, they're super fucking nice to have. And I got them. I get them with no lines,
Yeah.
because like um, when I'm drawing, I don't like to use lines. They just get in the fucking way. And even when I'm writing, they get in the way for me as well. Like I write in a very like illustrative way,
Yeah.
where it's like if I'm thinking about saying something in like a whisper, I'll write it really small. If I want it to be loud, I'll write it in fucking huge. Like
So you actually are writing it out.
yeah, well, most of the things that I write for like music is I just do it in my notes on my phone because I
Yeah.
can do it faster than to write it out. But like when I'm like sometimes I'll just write like poetry just for fun. Like if I'm out like hunting,
Hmm.
I like to bring a book with, or if I'm out like out of the city, if I'm traveling somewhere, I like to bring one of these little notebooks with and then just like write about what I see, just like stream of consciousness, and just like write it in a creative, interesting way and just kind of write down exactly anything, just not stop writing. Um, and I think that's so much fucking fun. And yeah, but I think like the biggest thing for me is not having those lines. It's like it helps me to be way more expressive in my writing. Like if you were to read it, I think that you would read it in the voice that I want you to read it in better than if I were just
Yeah.
like writing it on the page.
I mean, it makes sense because it's like visually you're looking at it's just open space. Just fill it in.
Yeah,
It's not like
yeah,
ordered line construct here. Boom, boom, boom.
exactly.
Just
Like I
imagine that like feels like you could just do whatever.
right, yeah, and like you write something really big, like obviously you know that's gonna be like shouted, or like you're
Yeah.
like, wow, you're like, this is how it should be fucking sound, this is how it should fucking feel.
Yeah.
This word he wants me to read it like this.
Yeah.
Like the rest of it maybe is like this, and you're talking like this. You shout, and you're like, but you can write like that. You can make that happen visually.
Hmm.
And I don't know. Like I think that's just a fun thing.
That'd be
It's a
cool to
good
make a little book like that.
to make. What do you mean?
Just like a little short book of
Oh,
maybe
to write a book?
poems or like illustrations. Like, yeah, if you would write that, just little random thing. They could be poems then, and yeah, just have it be known, or it would get known that the size of the word matters.
Right. Right. I mean, it's like if you're texting somebody and they have it in all caps. I mean, it's like not like a new thing,
Yeah.
but it's just like that helps me compartmentalize what I'm doing so much better than if I have like lined paper that
Yeah.
the lines don't the lines don't help me write better. They just get in the way.
Yeah. It's funny you say that because it's interesting. Again, just thinking about hearing other people's like writing, comparing to myself how I would in like notes. Like I'll try to lay shit out. Obviously, it's more constricted on like an iPhone, but I'll try to lay if I'm trying to say it a certain way. I'll like indent it, or if like I'm trying to like da 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 da, like da 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 da
Yeah.
da 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 da, like I'll like indent it and space it, and like I know most of the time what it is. But yeah, someone's like randomly seeing that would be like, I don't know the fuck why this is gapped so weird, or like these lines are,
Right.
or or even sometimes I'll do like I'll use little signs that are like grammar signs. Obviously, I don't even know, like a dash or something that means
That's
something that I made up.
yeah.
So I don't know. That's funny. Um, this is that song I was gonna show.
Oh.
Yeah, you
I
know
know
that
that
song.
song.
Yeah, like this is
Yeah,
I like the song a lot, but I don't picture myself writing like that. It's kind of just like a
sure.
catchy. I don't know. I feel like I would write more lyrical and like I don't know how to say what I'm trying to say without sounding like I'm shitting on the song. So I like the song. Like not like maybe like cheap. Like it sounds like almost like cheap, just catchy
Yeah, I know
rap,
what you mean.
but not
But
cheap
that's not
because it's like
necessary. They
bad.
probably know that when they're making that song.
Oh
Like that's
yeah.
probably a conscious decision. So I don't think
No.
that's really shitting on the song. Like that's
No.
that's just like talking about what it is.
Yeah,
But
I would agree.
I would assume that they go into that knowing exactly what they're doing. Like if you're making a
Mhm.
song that's that successful, you probably fucking know that your lyrics, like you're probably doing it on purpose. Like what that's like, people get criticized a lot. I feel like pop artists
Mhm.
for being cheesy and simple and their lyrics suck and they don't write anything that means anything or that matters and they have such simple rhymes. Well, it's like, yeah, they fucking know that. Like they're like there's like I've seen so many videos of people like country singers. Like I've seen a video of country like a bunch of country singers listening to like Hotline Bling
Mhm.
and they're like, what are these fucking lyrics? What is he even talking about? What are this? He only says like 4 words in the whole fucking song, and you're
Yeah.
like, yeah, dude, that's because everybody in the whole fucking universe and their grandmother knows those 4 words, and now they can sing along with it.
Yeah.
Like it's
Good
so
point.
catchy because every single person can learn the words like that, and then it repeats and it repeats and it repeats. And there's a good like beat to back it up, but those lyrics, those words, it's not like he doesn't know more than 4 words. Like it's hard to only put 4 words into a song. It's
Mhm.
hard to make a song out of a small amount of words.
Mhm.
But like, and I'm not trying to shit on country singers. I think there's a lot of really fucking talented country musicians as well. But that's a different style of music. Country music is about kind of like telling a story and like kind of getting to the heart of shit. A lot of pop music or like that may let's talk like Hotline Bling, like that's just about making people fucking party, like
Mhm.
getting people to like know the song, sing along with it and vibe with it. And the best way, the easiest way to do that for especially for like a hook is make the hook as simple as possible. So I was kind of alluding to that earlier a little bit, talking about how like that's how I think about writing my songs. I'll keep it like maybe if I'm gonna like rap something in the verses, I'll get like really wordy and like make a million metaphors in 30 seconds. Every single line is a metaphor that like if you would have to like sit down and read the lyrics to understand every single thing
Mhm.
that I'm talking about. But then in the chorus, I'm gonna give you like fucking 5 words so that you can understand the chorus like that. The first time that you hear the chorus, you already know where it's going.
Mhm.
You already know when it's going to come next. You know what the next words are. You can sing along with it. By the end of the song, you're already singing along with it and you're like, "How the fuck am I already singing along with this? How did he do that?"
Mhm.
I was like, "Well, it's planned out. Like it's thought out. I'm doing that on purpose. I want to make sure that that song is stuck in your head all fucking day." And like there's also shit in the song that you could look at the song for 6 months and still not know half the stuff that I'm talking about, but there's pieces that are like, wow,
Mhm.
I I can fucking sing along with that so fast. And so yeah, you talking about how it's like whatever, cheap lyrics, whatever. I
Yeah.
think that's like intentional. Like they're trying to get as many people on board as they can so that anybody can fucking learn the song like that and sing along with
Exactly.
it.
Exactly. And that's why I don't know how to say it without making it sound like a put down because I don't mean it that way.
Yeah, it's
It's just like
hard.
the style of what the music
Mm-hmm.
is like. I mean, it's like Migos. Like Migos, they're not super lyrical at all. They're literally just
No.
like da 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 da.
Huh, huh.
Yeah, they're making noises. They're not even saying words half the time, but it's super
Yeah,
fucking catchy, and I love a lot of their songs. So like,
right.
I
Yeah, absolutely.
don't know what you would say that is, but
I think that a lot of like rap and Migos especially and but it's like people don't think about a voice as an instrument very often.
Yeah.
It's like maybe you'd say like maybe people do think about it like, oh yeah, of course the voice is an instrument, but you don't like actually think about it like it's the drums or it's a
Yeah.
fucking guitar or it's a piano. Like you think about it like it's separate thing. You're
Yeah.
like there's the instruments and then there's a voice.
Hmm.
Well, like in like with Migos, they're like basically just like another drum.
Yeah.
Like they're not saying all that much like interesting shit probably, and they're not doing like anything like crazy melodies, but they're like doing all these ad libs and like putting rhythms, different like noises and spots where it like adds so much to the song, and then like they're just fucking hype men basically. They're trying to hype you the fuck up, and everybody can sing along with that too. Like it's another thing like that. But like with
Yeah.
a lot of rap, it's like they're Kendrick, or I just watched that Biggie documentary. Did you watch
Yes.
that?
I've started it for like 10 minutes. I haven't gotten
Uh,
very deep into it, but yeah, I want to.
Pretty fucking sweet. But they're talking about how he's like using like jazz drum beats to
Hmm.
he's rapping as like a drum basically. Like
Mm.
he's hitting all the hits that like these like traditional or not traditional, yeah, maybe traditional, but like these good jazz musicians would be like doing this cadence on the drum,
Yeah. So
and
you're
he's
doing drum.
rapping with that cadence. So he's basically like that's what a lot of rap is like you're being the drum with words.
That's so cool.
Yeah, very cool.
I
And
definitely want to watch that even more now. I mean, he's like one of my favorite rappers.
really,
Yeah, I'd probably say I think he's probably my rap goat, but
really,
I think so. Yeah, and I honestly
okay.
feel like if someone dove into me, they'd be like, yeah, "Name your favorite song." Like, I could name a couple. I'm not like say I'm his number one fucking fan ever, but even as a kid, I loved him. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, like Hypnotize and yeah, was it even 10 Crack Commandments? I love that song.
I don't know a whole lot of I know like his biggest songs, but
Yeah,
I don't know a shitload of his music,
yeah. It's just
honestly.
the energy.
I like him, but
It's the
what?
energy. It's the energy of like his music. Kind
Yeah.
of again, that's what I like a lot. It's like the energy that music brings you,
Mm-hmm.
whether you know what they're saying all the time or not.
See, that's my biggest thing fucking ever. Like it's for me, it's oh, and I've had this discussion like with cousins of mine who are like country fans. They're like, well, what in country they say a lot, they say important stuff and they say a lot of words that's great. In your music, they don't say anything. Like not necessarily saying that, but like I'm like, for me, it's like everything is about the sound. Everything is about the musicality of it. Everything is about like the notes and the melodies and the fucking harmonies and everything that's happening, the rhythms, like the words. If there's good words, that's great. But
Hmm.
I would so much rather listen to an instrumental than listen to somebody fucking stand there and tell me a poem.
Hmm.
Like the instrumental is so much more interesting to me than just the lyrics. Like if you separate them, you take an instrumental, I would way fucking rather listen to an instrumental than somebody just standing there telling me the lyrics, which makes me feel like the music is like even in country music or anything, if you were just to take the music away and have somebody tell you a country song, you'd be like, yeah, this is a good story, but I don't really care.
Hmm.
Like it's not interesting to me. How do you make it interesting? Like you add in all that musical stuff.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
And not that I don't like poetry, but I fucking like music a hell of a lot more.
Yeah, yeah, I would agree with that. Obviously they go together.
Right. But if you separate them, like which one do you like more, you know?
Yeah, definitely. I would guess most people would say music, but they probably just don't. I mean, I've never thought of it. I never thought about that.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I don't even know what to say. Think of that.
I I understand that you don't like that people don't like a song if the lyrics aren't good. I totally understand that.
Yeah,
Like if they don't like the song because the lyrics are trash, that's fine with me.
yeah,
But but you can't say that the lyrics are more important than the music because they're not, as far as I'm concerned.
And there's so many songs that I think are bad lyrics, but the song's just fucking catchy.
Yeah.
And maybe it just makes you happy or energized or whatever. And it's
Yeah.
a pop song and it just like gets stuck in your
Right. Yeah.
like
I don't know a whole lot of songs with amazing lyrics that have shit music and people are like, this is so good.
exactly. None,
You know?
honestly, exactly. Exactly. Just super fucking heavy drums and a quiet violin.
The quiet by the world's tiniest violin, some fucking King Kong drums, and somebody just reciting some good poem.
Yeah.
No thanks.
My ears are bleeding, but I love his message. It's really good.
That's fucking funny.
Uh, couple things here. I know I said we're gonna be done, but um, what has like been the biggest surprise, I guess, about even just those first two singles that you've released?
Biggest surprise.
About the whole process, anything with, I guess, making music and maybe and actually putting music out.
Yeah. Honestly, I was pretty surprised at how easy it was to get music on the platforms.
Yeah.
I bought like a $20 subscription to this thing, and then you upload your song, and then they put it on everything. They put it on Spotify, iTunes, YouTube, TikTok, Tidal, everything. Amazon Music, Apple Music, like it's on everything. For $20 a year, you upload unlimited music.
Wow. What did you use?
DistroKid.
DistroKid?
Yeah, I think that's what I would say probably most people that I know who are musicians use this DistroKid.
Yeah. Have you heard of CD Baby?
No, I don't think so.
I'll send
Didn't
you.
look into it much. I just took the first one that somebody told me.
Yeah, I don't even know if these are the same things, but CD Baby, I know, I think tracks. I think it distributes for you because a friend of mine told me to look at that for the podcast, but I think it's just music. But it also tracks any royalties.
Yeah,
So for
DistroKid's the same way.
yeah, if anyone uses any of your shit, it'll track that and pay you. And it'll claim your rights instead of someone else, getting
That's
away with it.
crazy.
Um, but yeah, that is surprising. I guess you would imagine it'd be a lot harder.
Yeah, like I would have thought that you had to do a whole lot more, and like you got to like make an account for every. We kind of do have to make accounts for. I like made an account for
Yeah.
Spotify and Apple, but like I would think that you have to like submit something and be like accepted and all this shit. It's like, no, you could put whatever the fuck you want out
Yeah.
there, as much of it as you want for $20 a year.
Mhm.
So that was really surprising to me. Um, the another thing that's, I don't know, like surprising or exciting or whatever. I honestly, I just want to get more music written and finished.
Yeah.
I want to put together like 100,000 songs.
Yeah.
It's fun to like right now, the two songs that I have out are the only two songs I've ever made. I've never like the only two songs of it I had ever written and like finished,
Hmm.
they're out there. So I think most musicians who are doing it a lot have a fucking shitload of songs in the bank, and
Hmm.
then they get to pick and choose which ones to release
Hmm.
because that's what they do. They make a lot of music and then they say like, okay, this is the best one or this is a great one for this time frame, and I'm gonna release this one now. I'm I'm making them and releasing them as I finish. Like I finish it and I'm like, okay, just in time, put it on there,
Yeah.
and then it goes. Like I am excited and hoping to be able to have a lot more in the bank so I can be like, okay, I want to release this one. I want
Yeah.
to release this one rather than being like, hope this one's good enough.
Hmm.
I guess this is what I have. Not that they're going to be bad, but I think that I could do it in a lot smarter and more, I don't know, like I could put out better songs if I just have a lot more of them.
Yeah, and it'd give you more time just to work on the ones you really like
Right.
because
Right.
you have other shit out and you just have these other ones over here that maybe you don't touch for a little bit, and then you come back and have a new kind of set of ideas for it and
Right.
make it better.
Exactly. I've got one coming out. I haven't picked a release date yet, but the goal is sometime in what's the fucking month right now? March.
Which where are we?
Sometime, yeah, Jesus. Sometime in April is the goal. I want to release one song a month, so I've got one that is pretty much finished.
Yeah.
I've got the rough draft done. I'm gonna actually add like some like choral vocals, so just like thickening up the sound a bit more, and so I got to record a bunch of more vocals just to like throw in certain spots, but that shouldn't be too long. Because the kid that I'm working with actually for that part, he's like, these are the notes that you're gonna need to sing to combine with like what I'm doing on this stuff. He's like, there's some specific ones that I want you to do.
Mm-hmm.
So he's just gonna fucking send me what I need to do, and then I just do it. Like, it's so easy. I don't have to for that part. Like, I'm not gonna have to write any extra stuff, or like, I just have to record it.
Mm-hmm.
So hopefully we'll be able to be done with that in like a week, and then submit it to playlists, and then it should be up by probably the end of next month.
Fuck yeah, dude.
Yeah, exciting stuff.
Danny Boy on Spotify and iTunes, Apple Music, everywhere
sir.
actually.
Yeah,
YouTube.
it's all over.
YouTube, Amazon Music. My dad uses that. I don't know anyone else who uses that.
YouTube or
Amazon.
Amazon?
Amazon.
Yeah, I don't know if I know anybody personally who
I didn't even
uses
know
that.
the thing.
The Amazon's got everything.
Yeah. I remember him saying that one day. I was like, what use Amazon Music? I don't know what. On YouTube. Use Spotify. But, yeah, that kind of took care of my other question. I was gonna say, what's coming next for you?
Oh, yeah. I mean, that's next. Pottery. I got my Etsy shop. I don't know. My Instagram is Danny Bruckbauer. My Etsy's linked to that.
Yeah.
TikTok, Danny Bruckbauer. Etsy's linked to that. So if you're interested in, I don't know,
Dope. I'll show mine again as well.
mugs or cups
Thick
or
mugs.
bowls or.
It fit the hand
Vase.
very well.
Thank you.
It fit a great
Yeah.
amount of coffee.
Is it a decent amount?
Oh yeah,
12
I
ounces,
literally
14 ounces.
I use this like every day. If
Fuck yeah.
It's
That's
definitely
awesome.
my favorite over all of our stuff. Unless it's really dirty, I choose this one.
Oh, yeah?
So buy a fucking mug, people.
I fucking
All right, man. We've been at this for a while, so
Absolutely we have. Well, thank you very much for fucking having me on. This is a blast. We were talking before a little bit, but fuck, it's just nice to sit here and talk long form to anybody.
Yeah.
I would rather have it somebody else than you, but I guess this is what I get.
I'm the only one asking.
No, really though. It's I'm very grateful to have you ask me to be on here and to be able to come on here and talk about my shit and hear about a little bit more about what you're doing. It's great. Thank you.
I appreciate it, man. Thanks for coming on. I'm excited for you, especially with the music, because it's been fucking. Like you said, you've only put out 2 songs, and they've both been good as fuck. So it's like, okay, that's a great start.
Yeah.
Pretty goddamn good so far.
Doing my best.
Yeah. Guess that's it, bro. Thanks. First ever Zoom podcast. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah.
I hope as soon as I hit end here, it saves everything and it's not for nothing.
Yeah, watch it all get destroyed.
I'm a little worried. I don't know how the process works. It said it's supposed to just make these files for you. I'm like, all right. I guess it's going to, but all right, bro. Have a good rest of your day.
You as well.
Have a good one, man. See ya. Bye, everybody.
Check the mic and make sure it sound right, boys.